Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Okay. The Vampire Stream. We got some work to do. The Vampire Stream. I was gonna go a little bit later. What's better if we go later? Because I got some stuff to do. So I was going to knock it out. Unless y'all want the real Vampire Stream. Because I feel like I'm going to be up all night on the Vampire Stream. Or y'all ready to talk right now? The fans are on the channel. Let me know what you would like to do. Yeah. The later time's better. Let's go now. Let's do a compromise. I'll do a shorter version and I'll try to go later too. The Vampire Stream. Yo, make sure y'all smash the like button. We trying to get it cracking at all hours of the night. Ronald Finkley with the $5 Shmoney Gang. He said, Shmoney Gang salute. This is Boxing Talk on the Vampire Stream. Listen, we gonna jump right in it. We probably got a small crowd because of the time. It don't matter. They could catch the replay. Okay. Hold on. We working. Smash the like button. The real is back. Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. The king is back. Let's get it. Check him. I told y'all, we got a real life war going on outside. Fact versus fiction, truth versus falsehoods. And at the end of the day, you got to decide what side you want to be on. The new media, the ego army side, fair and consistent truths, or the other side. I don't know what it is with Eddie Hearn, but like I said, what he's been saying recently, like I gotta say my piece. I gotta respond to it. Now he's saying that Deontay Wilder is not really known, and he's not really known in the UK. Like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. That like it's getting, to be honest, Team Joshua is getting almost to the point where the statements that are coming out are really pathetic. Like, literally. Now all of a sudden, no, like, that's bullshit, because I follow Cannon Briggs and motherfuckers know who he is. And he's a guy who's had almost 2 careers. He had his early career when he was fighting Lennox Lewis and 2-time world champion. And then he did the Transporter movie. Then he said he gained a whole bunch of weight and he fell into a depression. So he kind of disappeared through that whole period of time. And then he came back and reinvented himself with the "Let's go, champ, yeah." You know what I'm saying? And he kind of came back into the popularity or whatever, where like people paid attention to what he was doing and ran up on Klitschko and Wilder, and you know what I mean, the little situations like that. But come on, man, like Cannon Briggs was getting mad love out there. He was getting so much love in the UK. And you mean to tell me the UK knows an older fighter who's been kind of inactive, but they don't know who Wilder is? Like, come on, man, really? Like, really? Like, I told you. Now, I know some people are getting tired. Oh, okay, let's just zip it up until they fight. No. As long as there's interviews, people have to be held accountable. As long as there's statements like that, then there's always going to be the resistance until we get a piece, until we get some truth. You know what I mean? I seen we got 5 dislikes. There ain't no 5 people stepping up. So as long as you guys see it, I'm good with that. As long as you see me continually burning these motherfuckers in the hot seat and listen to their point and their logic. Ronald Finkley clapped you. Just an idiotic comment. He says, If you ain't Mayweather or Pacquiao, none of my hoes gonna know you. What are you talking about? Who cares about your hoes? What are you talking about? Town Business in the building. He said, so nobody knows who Wilder is, but everybody knows who Anthony Johnson was. You know, the guy who came to NBA playoff. I mean, this shit, like, I'm telling you, it's like, it's not even a challenge anymore. Because, listen, when this whole controversy of who was stalling the fight, I'll be honest, when it first started, it was harder to prove because certain things hadn't been said yet. Certain comments weren't made. Certain interviews weren't done. So there was like, you could pick a side or point the finger, but you had less to draw from. At this point right here, it's very apparent what's going on. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like little miscellaneous things that could have been done. I'm talking about the big picture, like the bulk of the reason why the fight's not happening. And Eddie Hearn and them told you why it wasn't happening before. So after the Carlos Takam fight, they said we don't want to fight abroad. That means they don't want to fight in America. So fast forward to getting the $50 million offer, they're posturing like they want it. But behind the scenes, Eddie Hearn was clearly working on some kind of Wembley deal. He's working on his DAZN shit that nobody cares about like that, except for some fighters who are getting cashed out more than maybe they were before, right? But you have to prove your place in America. That's how it works. You know, you could come from wherever and then open up a deli in New York, but you got to make New Yorkers. There's a lot of good food spots in New York. You got to make motherfuckers respect your deli. They have to be like, oh, yo, there's a lot of options. Late night, 24 hours, you know what I mean, different times. You got to make motherfuckers respect your deli. You got to be like, man, we got the slamming sandwiches. The pasta's good. You know what I mean? The potato salad's good. You don't just come and then automatically you popping unless it really is popping. So this DAZN shit, you have to get the approval of Americans for it to be successful. And I'm telling y'all, as an American, this is not the way. Doing all these, like, you just focus on Povetkin. That would really be, to me, from my honest perspective, that would really be the best thing for them to do right now. Just focus on Povetkin. That's what you're fighting. He's a big puncher. He's a gold medalist like Joshua. Just focus on that. But the more Eddie Hearn, particularly, even Joshua hasn't said as much, but the more Eddie Hearn does, the worse it's getting. You know what I mean? The worse it's getting, because he keeps saying this like petty stuff. It's like petty Hearn. You know what I mean? Oh, nobody knows Wilder. Stop it. Here, I'm gonna read the full quote. Shout out to CBS Sports. He says, the reason we're not getting Deontay Wilder fight is because Wilder refused to sign the contract on the terms he agreed. Come on, bro. Like, you could break down all these. Wilder refused, but they said we agreed to the terms, and the WBA intercepted. So how on earth is anyone gonna try to make like that's a reality? Come on. Like, honestly, let's just be real. Like, everybody step up and be real for a minute. You know, he says the reason we're not getting Wilder is because they refused to sign terms. When he said he'll come to the UK, he's gonna take the weak ass 15 mil, right, flat fee, which he shouldn't. For a fight of this magnitude, he should be getting broke off and chipped off with some type of percentage, right? And then they had two small issues. They made it public that they had every intent of closing this deal up on Friday, and then the WBA intercepted. So how is Eddie Hearn gonna do this interview with CBS Sports talking about the reason we're not getting Wilder is because he refused to sign the contract on the terms he agreed? What? How does that even make sense? Eddie Hearn goes on to say, if we didn't want the fight, Team Joshua, we wouldn't have ever sent him a contract. I wouldn't have spent 4 months traveling around and wasting my time with late night phone calls to agree on terms. We agree on terms and we sent them a contract, but they didn't send it back. Didn't even send any comments back. So once again, why is Eddie Hearn talking about the $12.5 million offer? That's like the infancy of this whole... That's like the starting point of this whole situation. Lots happened since the 12.5 million. You offered Wilder an improved, better offer. They offered you 50 million. So why is he even reverting back to that? See, this is how you know when it's filler. Because if it wasn't filler, you wouldn't even have to revert back to that. Talk about the more current things to do with this. He's talking about, yeah, we sent them an offer and they never even responded back. But they did respond back, and I've already debunked that. If somebody sends you an offer, 12.5 million, you might not respond and say, hey, 12.5 million, I am not good with that, I don't want it. They might not have responded in that fashion, but the fact that they countered or submitted their own offer, which was a very lucrative offer that Anthony Joshua just said the Fight Hype yesterday, oh, that's a lot of money. 50 mil, that's a lot. He admits it's a lot of money, so that is a response. If Town Business has a Cadillac that he's selling, and then he says, I want $7,000 or best offer, and then we exchange text information, and he says $7K. It's going to cost you $7K to get the Cadillac. And I don't respond saying, hey, no, I'm not good with $7K. But I text back, what about $6,500? How is that not a response? Even though I didn't formally say, hey, I bow out $7,000, it's not in my price. Even though I didn't say that, how is me saying I'll give you $6,500? How is that not a response? Somebody intelligently explain that. So just because you didn't directly say, hey, $12.5 million, nay, I do not want that offer. You still responded to the offer by making your own offer. Because if you agreed to their first offer, then there would be really no reason to contact Al Heyman and investors to collect $50 million. Now, would there? See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all playing a dangerous game. Y'all fucking around with me. Y'all playing a dangerous game because we could do it however you want to do it. Intellectually stimulating conversations. You know, you want to roast. We could do all that. You know what I mean? So from an intellectual point of view, how does that make sense? There would be, if you like 12.5 and you're like, cool, sign me up, I'll take it, then you wouldn't even need to collect $50 million to offer to them because you were good with your offer from them. It doesn't even make sense. So how does he keep saying, why does he keep telling people they never even responded to our offer? And again, so much has happened since that. Who cares about the fucking first offer? You've already improved your offer, and they've already offered you $50 million. So why are we reverting back to the 12.5 discussion? You dudes are getting bodied. Eddie Hearn goes on to tell CBS Sports, like, basically, and see, he's saying if we didn't want the fight, we would have never sent him a contract and spent long nights. Bullshit. Because at the end of the day, if you didn't send him a contract, then it would have really looked like you was ducking. So you obviously have to save face. There's a lot of people that do stuff to save face, you know. So that I don't even take that as like a logical argument. Oh, I wouldn't have traveled back and forth, and you had to do that because if they offered you 50 million and then it didn't escalate, then people would really been like, oh, okay, they really don't want the fight. He goes on to say Anthony Joshua's profile is going to continue to grow and Deontay Wilder's is not. So now you're a soothsayer. You're psychic out this motherfucker. So I feel like we're quite generous offering the same terms for the April fight. Just listen to this. How does any of this make sense? Why would Wilder's profile go down? If he wins his next fight, why would his profile go down? Shout out to Ronald Finkley, shooter. He got us working. He said, share the live boxing talk right now. Eagles Army. We some lions. We lit. Why does Eddie Hearn keep saying that Wilder's profile is going to go down? Why? Okay. First of all, see, this is the thing. Certain people could say something, but if nobody believes you, what's the point of even saying it? You know what I mean? And if you're not willing to prove it, what's the point? So he keeps saying this notion. He keeps saying this notion that Joshua's profile by fighting Povetkin is going to keep skyrocketing. But the lie detector test determined that was a lie. Reason being is because I looked at Joshua, Eddie Hearn, and Matchroom, their Instagram, And trust me, they're not favorable things being said. So once again, you're not psychic. How are you going to say Wilder's profile is going to go down and your fighter's going up? You know what I mean? You could take an educated guess, but what are you basing it off of? Do you get what I'm saying? What are you basing it off of? Because the perception that I see, you had Blue Blood and Ness on that ass at a press conference, and they're asking the tough questions. You know what I mean? Then you go to everybody affiliated with this Povetkin fight. You go to their Instagram and social media, and people are like, where's Wilder? We don't want this bullshit. We want Wilder. So, again, I can understand taking an educated guess. Like let's say I was going to be in a movie, and I'm like, man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's going to be in a movie, Brad Pitt, all these A-list actors, Al Pacino, and I'm like, man, this is going to take my career to the next level. There's a good indication that could, because all the star power plus me, you know what I mean, in that vehicle. But where is this educated guess coming from Eddie Hearn? Why does he keep saying Joshua's profile is steadily increasing? He already beat Klitschko, who knocked down and beat Povetkin. So how is his profile steadily growing, in your words? Especially when I go to their social media and it's not favorable things being said right now about Joshua. Eddie Hearn is like the Cat Stacks of boxing. I'm done. Some of y'all don't even know who Cat Stacks is. Shout out to Maya. Thank you for joining the Vampire Stream. And then again, you keep saying Wilder's profile is going to go down. Why? Somebody answer any of these questions and smash the like button. I'm just curious why his profile would go down and Joshua's is going up, but from anything I can see visually, it's not going up. It's going down. People are feeling like, man, I was really on board with Joshua, but after this shenanigans, I'm rooting for Wilder. I'm seeing comments like that. So where is this coming from? Shout out to David Smith. That's a good one. I've said that too. He says because Anthony Joshua is not really speaking up. Exactly. And you're letting Eddie Hearn run the show with all the interviews, and he's part of your team. So that's what people are going to hold you to. Somebody please answer the question. See, listen, all the motherfuckers who make fun of Wilder and say, oh, this is a Wilder fanboy, or this is a Wilder fanboy channel, they don't get on this live shit like me and talk to the people. You know what I mean? And then open up the floor for anybody to rebuttal or rebut what's being said. I'm asking you guys. I can't see it. So I'm asking you guys to please enlighten me so I can see. We breathe boxing. You already know that. I'm asking for your input if you really believe that, and then you notice these dudes don't step up. So how come, like, listen, if these other channels had a popular, like, channel, you know what I mean, the ones that are saying the opposite and stuff like that, why don't they go live? They would get destroyed. They would get destroyed if people were tuning in and asking them questions and putting them on the spot and say, hey, I found this inconsistency. They would get destroyed. I'm asking y'all to please answer some of these questions, and then they don't answer them. But then they'll go say, oh, he goes a Wilder fanboy, he's sucking Wilder's dick. You know what I mean? But they won't prove how what I'm saying is wrong, or even answer the question. Like, it's not even about right or wrong with some of it. Some of it is, but some of it's not. So just enlighten me. Once again, I'm gonna ask the question, and then if we can't get nobody to bite for a hot seat, then I'll just move on. Once again, Eddie Hearn keeps saying Joshua's profile is going up, and Wilder's lucky that he's getting 15 mil offered for April, because he should get less. So what is happening? What do you think is going to happen to Wilder's profile that's going to take it down where he deserves less money? Do you think if he fights Dominic Brazil, he's going to lose? Or, like, is he going to look sloppy? Like, I'm just wondering, is anyone picking Brazil to beat Wilder if that's who he fights? He already knocked out Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn keeps saying AJ's profile is steadily through the roof with all these great fights, but you're fighting on the app, and I've seen a lot of people say they're not getting the app because they're not supporting the lies and the bullshit. I see on the social media people are going in on Joshua. So my question is, Where's this educated guess coming from that Wilder, his profile is somehow plummeting and Joshua is steadily increasing, but it's not trending that way? See, I know about trend. That's what I'm saying. Like Eddie Hearn or whatever, we could do a debate, anybody. Like we could do it. But let's put some money up. I'll put money up. Put somebody with Eddie Hearn's contact. Let's put some money up. And you can't laugh off my question. You got to really answer the questions. Put some money up. I'll put stacks up. We'll be civil. We'll be professional. Put something up. If you want to argue these talking points, put something up. You know what I'm saying? This is not a game. Y'all think it's a game, but it's really not. I'm not Milton Bradley. Shout out to Ronald Finkley, $5 super chat. If they fucking up boxing, I'm there. Gang, gang. Ronald Finkley just be down to ride. But I'm just saying, like, why is Wilder's profile dropping? I don't understand it. See, but then, like I said, I've seen the moves. I see how Eddie Hearn moves. A lot of times he'll try to be condescending or laugh it off as a joke or relegate you to, oh, we got a couple Wilder fanboys, but you're not gonna answer the question though. You know what I mean? Instead of saying calling people fanboys and Shirley Winkle, Finkel, Dinkle, fuck all that. Just answer the question. You know what I'm saying? That's like if I ask a question and it's a good question, the fans want the answer. You know what I mean? So if Eddie Hearn's like, oh, that's ego waffles, that's cool, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? But what about the answer to the question? The ego waffles, haha, call me eagle, boxing eagle, okay, haha, but answer the question. This is, you know what I'm saying? It's that full court press. Triangle offense. The full Nelson. Figure 4 leg lock. You know what I'm saying? So, like, nobody cares about the Shirley Winkle Finkel stuff. Just talk about the points. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. Ego, I got some bad news for these Lomachenko fans. Bud Crawford wins SB Fighter of the Year over Lomachenko. Recognize. Man, I already know. I did a video about that earlier, but shout out to that man, Terrence Bud Crawford. See, that's another thing. Y'all just be just saying whatever on this, but it's never true. It's never true. Like, this is why everyone from new media to LDBC and all these motherfuckers is kicking y'all dumbasses. Because you constantly say stuff that is not true. You know what I'm saying? It always shows up at the end as being false. That's why I'm going to continue to grow. Other channels who are saying the same thing are going to continue to grow because the fans aren't stupid. They're not going to just buy into the bullshit. You like, for years they've been telling us Lomachenko, he's good. He's straight. I don't know what else you want me to say. He's good. He has skill. You know what I'm saying? But oh, he's better. He's the #1 pound for pound. Teddy Atlas is talking about, oh, he's better than you got Terrence Crawford in front of you and Andre Ward in front of you. You gonna say Lomachenko's better? See, but the thing is, real boxing heads, nobody believes you. Listen, Terrence Crawford and Lomachenko both did the same thing last fight. They moved up a division with no tune-ups and instantly fought a champion with a potential to have a rugged style that could give their style problems. But guess what? Lomachenko, he got a stoppage. Crawford got a stoppage. But the difference is Lomachenko was more in a war. It was far more competitive. Terrence Crawford, I was at that fight. I was at Crawford Horn. He dogged that man. And I don't want to hear, oh, it's just Jeff Hearn. It's just Jeff Hearn, because Lomachenko just fought Jorge Linares, who had been stopped by Antonio DeMarco. Jeff Hearn ain't been stopped by nobody. And he has a win over Pacquiao. I thought Pacquiao won, but he still gave Pacquiao. There's a lot of people that thought he beat Pacquiao straight up. So it don't matter. He still got a win over Pacquiao. Jorge Linares didn't have no recent wins over nobody like no Pacquiao. Okay, put Jorge Linares, he's solid. But who did Jorge Linares beat in the last 5 years that you would rate over Pacquiao as an all-time great? I'll wait. That's why they can't fuck with me. That's why they can't fuck with me, because it's too much facts and too much points. People keep trying to say like Jeff Hearn was trash. Whatever you want to say, I don't think he was the top heavy or the top welterweight. That's because the division is stacked. But if he was in a lesser division, he might be one of the top guys. I just don't think he's the top guy over a guy like Crawford, Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman. But that's just because he's in a stacked division. So once again, crickets. You know, I need to change my cell phone provider to cricket, because every time I talk, that's all I hear is crickets. Straight up crickets. People keep talking, oh, Jeff Hearn, oh, fucking Hearn. Yeah, but he still holds a win over Pacquiao, which is greater than any of Linares' wins in the last 5 years. Linares struggled with Luke Campbell a bit, a gold medalist, right? But he got the job done. He beat Mercita Hesta, okay. He fought Anthony Corolla, had a tough fight, and then came back and did better in the rematch. What are we talking about? Crawford dogged that man. He deserved Fight of the Year. Lomachenko's good, but you got to wait in line or wait for Crawford to retire. Because as long as he's doing that, taking the penitentiary chances, it is what it is. Now back to AJ. Shout out to Bud Crawford. Shout out to Omaha 402. Gang. Bottom line is, I really feel Eddie Hearn had his own plan. He had the DAZN deal. He was working on a lucrative 2-fight deal with Wembley. And see, this is the thing. I don't know where you guys come from. I own a small business, so I understand business. I've always been involved in business, like management, and you know me, just different shit. I don't got to give my whole resume saying a job interview. But believe it or not, I understand business and the concepts of it. So Wembley as a stadium, they know what they're bringing to the table. Just like Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium. These are like highly respected venues. They could bring concerts, fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Whoever I don't even know who's fucking Lady Gaga or something. So to occupy their time and space and venue, you got to be worth it. You got to make it make sense to them too. So to me, the problem has always been Team Joshua, because there ain't no way you're gonna convince me that Wembley, you had to proposition Wembley with good fights. Like, hey, we're gonna fight Povetkin. That'll be a good appetizer, and then we're gonna try to get Wilder. You know what I mean? But if you told Wembley, you know what I mean, a stadium that big that can be scaled up to fit 100,000 people, if you told them, oh, we trying to do Povetkin versus Gerald Miller or some shit like that, they might not go for it and give you this 2-fight deal. You know what I'm saying? Or if you say, hey, we're fighting fucking, I don't know, whoever. I can't even think of no heavy. Adam Kanowski or something. He's good, but it's not going to be the type of fight that would be worth 100,000 seats, I would imagine. You know what I mean? Or we're fighting Archer Spilka now. That'd be overkill, that type of venue. So Eddie Hearn knew he didn't want to fight next, because he had to promise the Wembley stuff, and he got people's money tied up. You get what I'm saying? He got people's money tied up. He got DAZN investing a lot of money. He got Wembley, like, oh, okay, we're all ears. So he's probably telling them behind the scenes, yeah, we're gonna try to get you that Joshua Wilder fight. First, let us set it up with Povetkin. I mean, the man said it. Some of you guys are so idiotic, straight up. Some of you guys are so idiotic that you'll allow a grown man to say something, read it or hear it, depending on if it was an interview or if it was like an article interview, and then ignore what he just said and then act surprised. You know what I'm saying? It's like the movie Gremlins. If the bitch gave you the instructions and said, this is Gizmo, don't feed him after midnight and don't have him around water, won't. Because the little fuckers, the gremlin fuckers come out, and it's going to be a world full of hurt. It's going to be straight problems if you feed them past midnight. And then your dumb ass is feeding them pizza at 12:01, trying to see what will happen. Then it's your fault. So I hope the gremlins kill you. I hope the gremlins tie you the fuck up and beat you the fuck up and take a shit on your lap, because it's your problem. This is your fault. They told you what not to do, and you still did it. So if you guys are gonna let a grown man with blue eyes tell you what it is, and then later change or contradict it and act like he never said it or warned you, then I don't know what to tell you. You'll believe anything. I'm a stockholder with the Eiffel Tower, so give me your money now. I own a part of the Eiffel Tower. So please pay up in the super chat. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you. He said in an interview, you guys can Google this. Don't say, oh, fucking ego. He's full of shit, goddammit. But you can type this up. You don't have to just hear it from my voice. You can type it up on Google and try to find it. Eddie Hearn says, I think we could get away with one more before we have to fight Wilder. So that tells me right then and there is he's aware that the amounting pressure to fight Wilder is there. The fans want to see it. He's also said that it's the biggest fight in world boxing. Quote, right? So he knows the implications. He knows how big it is. And he chooses to fight a dangerous fight in the middle of it to extend it. So if Povetkin ends up spoiling the party, then you're going to look crazy because you could have made all this money and then now no one's going to give a shit. If Povetkin, listen, I'm telling you, Joshua better come out there. I don't want to see no Rocky Balboa performance. Joshua better come out there focused and sharp. That's the only way it's going to extend this Wilder fight and make it look appealing. If Povetkin's in there and he's just like knocking him down and shit, man, I'm telling you, the Wilder Joshua fight, everyone's gonna be like, fuck, because Povetkin looked this much shorter. Joshua looked up here, Povetkin looked this much shorter. We know Povetkin has power, but Wilder has freakish power. So if you have a hard time handling, I'm not saying they fight exactly alike, because I don't think Povetkin and Wilder fight exactly alike. But if there's any level of struggle with Povetkin and his power and his height and in deficit, having a loss, being much shorter than you, and his level of power, then that's going to seal the deal where people will be like, okay, this is why the Wilder fight kept getting prolonged. I got you. Because Wilder's an inch taller than what's the name, and his power is greater than Povetkin's. And I want to say he has a better jab because he has long arms. You can say, oh, Wilder only has a bronze medal. I mean, whatever. But listen, I told you, this is how you know we've been beat these motherfuckers. We've been killing. I told you how to combat all this stuff because I see the same. There's only a few lingerers left. Lingerer, you're a lingerer, right? There's only a few lingerers left that are trying to propel this bullshit. The whole world sees what it is, but the couple little arguments are so easy to dispel. For example, people keep saying Canelo versus Golovkin. Easy to dispel. Canelo has always said he's fighting on the Mexican dates after Floyd Mayweather retired. He has always said, I plan on fighting Cinco de Mayo weekend and Mexican Independence Day weekend. End of story. So if anyone would want to make a big fight and go against Canelo and schedule on the same day, that's just stupid, especially if it's a pay-per-view. So that should have never been an issue. These you're a lingerer, right? The other thing with these lingerers, the other argument is they're saying, why did Wilder have the contract for 4 weeks? Who cares? They said they were going to give you the contract by Friday. The WBA intervened with a 24-hour deadline that took 3 weeks to formally announce Povetkin. So if you're worried about time frames, why are you worried that Wilder had the contract for X amount of time, but you're not worried that it took to be announced to the public? It took probably about the same amount of time for the fight to be announced when they were only supposed to have 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? What else is the little talking points that they have? People say, oh, what, like I said, why did he have the contract so long? Why did Joshua turn down $50 million when he asked for $50 million? That's a much greater question to me. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? So there's a way to poke holes in all these arguments that they've cut, that I've seen. Unless you guys present some new shit, like, oh shit, this is some new argument. I've never heard of this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm waiting for that day because so far I haven't seen it. It's just the same talking points over and over and over and over again. Yo, we got to get the likes up, people. I just checked the likes. There's a couple haters in the building. See, I call them secret listeners. These secret listeners, they love me. They care what I have to say, But then there'll be the ones that sometimes they rear their ugly head into the chat and finally don't like what I'm saying, so they'll say something like, "Oh, you're fucking ugly," or "Nobody cares what you think," and "Your channel's small." They say all this stupid shit, but why are you watching secretly? Just in your room, he. Oh shit, he's asking for people to step up for the hot seat, he. But you don't want to he and step up into the hot seat and argue your dumbass point. You know what I mean? But there's just some. Listen, I have not heard one argument from that side. Listen, somebody throw an argument that still doesn't make sense to you, and we'll do a hot seat right now. So say something, reason why you blame Wilder. Name your argument for it, and I'll battle you right now in the hot seat. So it's not rehearsed. Throw whatever. The moment you throw it at me, just know you're in the hot seat, because this has to. I'm not here to waste my time, so it has to have an end result. So if you believe it's Wilder, and it's Wilder, and you have a valid reason, throw your reason, and right now on record, I will battle you in the hot seat. That's fair. So if you think, oh, Canelo Golovkin is the reason it didn't happen, okay, right? Then I'll battle that argument right here on the spot. And we'll see who steps up. And we'll see. Please don't waste people's time. If you have an intelligent argument, something that you can argue or it makes sense to you, it logically makes sense, you have facts to back it up, that type of stuff, please let me know. I am here for you right now. But just know, if I win in the hot seat, you know the rules. You out of here. 3 strikes. I'm finna blame Wilder for scaring Johnson and friends. I'm done. See, listen. See, this is why I'm the realest out, man. Because these other channels that are saying the polar opposite of what I'm saying, they don't do this. They don't put themselves in a position, in a lifeguard seat, and say, hey, I'm welcoming any arguments. If you think Wilder is at fault, then or I think Joshua's the one trying to make the fight. So guess what? If you disagree, step up right now. We'll hash it out right now. You get what I'm saying? I'm willing to put my reputation, my talking points, my argument versus yours. I don't even know what your argument is. But let's see the polar opposite. The ones like, oh, fuck that. Wilder, nobody knows him. Put that weak ass argument and then get on a live and tell your fans who want to see me. Who wants to argue? Wilder is a nobody, no one knows him. You see? That's why I could do stuff that they can't do. They simply can't do it. Because if they open the floodgates and ask for people who think that this has more to do with why Joshua and Eddie Hearn don't want the fight, right? And they open the floodgates like, oh, all you Wilder fanboy or whatever you want to call them, to battle you, you know you're gonna get lit the fuck up in the comment section. I'm asking, I'm running towards the fire. I'm running towards the smoke. If you have an argument, come right now. Because I want Ego's Army to see what I do to your argument. Once again, so if you want to blame Canelo versus Golovkin, if you want to blame Wilder why did he have the contract for 4 weeks? Nobody knows who Deontay Wilder is. He fought nothing but bums in 40 fights. If these are your real talking points, your argument, please, right now, step right up. See, Conor McGregor got popcorn talking about someone go ahead. See, they don't. It's just like the Joshua side. They don't want it. They don't want it. If you think 15 million flat is a fair deal for a fight of this magnitude, step right up. That's all I'm waiting for. I'm not gonna just keep doing this all day. Who wants it? See, people who are so content doing the drive-by. Oh, Ego, you're full of shit. You're so biased. Why are you so biased? Oh, you're Wilder, nut puller, and all this shit, right? But I'm giving you the opportunity to stand up for your tribe and let us know what it is and prove me wrong. And you know what I mean? Dethrone the king. But they won't do it because they know in their hearts, they knew Oh, you didn't know Biggie's homeboy shot you because they bragging. Enzo, stop putting Enzo Ocean. Stop putting stupid shit. Do you want to step up in the hot seat and argue this dumb shit? That's all we need to hear. Fuck the 10,000 seats. You have a seat in the hot seat. Stop all this extra shit. Do you want to argue? See, this is what they don't want to commit. They don't want to commit to the point. Enzo Ocean, if you don't answer me in your next response, you will be blocked. You talking about 10,000 more seats. Fuck that. Do you want the hot seat? One seat. We don't care about 10,000 seats. We care about the one seat. Do you want to argue in the hot seat right now versus me? And you have to respond. I'm not going to let you just waste my time. So you have to say, yes, I do, or no, I don't. And see, the pride be getting some people. They'll be like, oh, yes, just out of pride. I'm saying Wilder is getting more money in April. Bro, that's not answering my question. What are you talking about? And you said Wilder's getting more money in April, but Eddie Hearn says he's not giving him 50-50 and he's not giving him more than 15 million. So what are you talking about? Eddie Hearn says they got to take the contract that was already out there. So what are you talking about? Well, how you know he's getting more money? According to what Eddie Hearn's saying, at least, he's not getting more money. So we're not going to let you stall. You just saying shit. You're not going to vandalize my comment section. They already doing the countdown. Listen. Count him down. He's out of here almost. Enzo, you should have stopped while you was ahead. Actually, you was a never ahead. Now you just gonna be a severed head on my long rap sheet. Get Enzo out of here. Get him out of here. Remove him from this. Bouncers, shooters, get him out of here. Because nothing you're saying, listen, it don't matter what side you're on, you gotta come talk facts. If you don't know the facts, sit back and listen and let the real boxing heads update you with the facts, or do your research before you come. You know what I'm saying? Because everything he just said, oh, I'm saying, wow, it sounded like he was trying to back off the block because he got called out for the hot seat. But then he started switching and saying that, oh, Wilder's going to get more money. Not according to what Eddie Hearn's most recent interviews. He's saying, he just said, and I'll quote it. I'll read it. I got it pulled up right here. He says, Anthony Joshua's profile is going to continue to grow and Wilder's is not. So I feel like we're being quite generous offering the same terms, meaning $15 million flat fee for the April fight. Let's not get into that now. They've got the contract. They could come back on the points. If they sign it, the fight is on. But 50-50 is certainly not happening. So that's what he says. He says if they want the fight, 50-50 ain't happening. But they're lucky to be getting 15 million. You know what I mean? So, listen, I'm done with the hot seats tonight. Fuck it. Because I'm not, this is what they do. They wait till I call everyone out and open the floor. Don't say shit. And then when I hit stop and finish this live stream, then I see people in the comment section after the video publishes talking about some, oh, Ego, you're so biased. We know what that is. So you conveniently leave a comment right when the video is published, but you wasn't in here in none of my live streams to debate this stuff. Ego, how much money do you make? Block him or her. Pratik, block them. What the fuck does my money have to do with you? I ain't giving you none. I give it to Ego Army before I give it to you. Get them the fuck out of here. Talking about how much money you make. What does that have to do with anything? These dudes crazy. Hey, how much money you make? What, you gonna file, do my taxes? Fuck out of here. Listen, these dudes is getting clapped. I'm opening the floor and they don't want to show up. They never show up. It's like a basketball player who's supposed to be real good, but when it's game time, they're always injured or pulled a hamstring, can't sink their shots. That's cool. On the courts, in the streets of New York, at the Rutgers or some shit, I heard you be dogging people. But when you get under the bright lights, you don't do none of that. So who cares? You know what I'm saying? Oh, my shot. Oh, I got fouled. Like, you're not sinking none of your shots. So I don't care about it. Don't if I keep opening up the floor, the red carpet, for you guys to argue these points, and none of them step up, and then they want to come after, man, stop it. We know what it is. But yeah, Eddie Hearn's hurting Joshua's profile, straight up. And he keeps saying it's rising. No, you're lowering it, to be honest, because you keep saying stuff that people can't subscribe to. It doesn't make sense. Why is Wilder's profile going down, no matter who he faces? Because listen how dumb that sounds. You said Wilder's profile is. You said Joshua's profile is going to go up. So Joshua's going to go up. He's fighting a guy that Klitschko already beat, and a guy who is a drug addict, right? And his profile is going to go up for that when he already beat Klitschko. But Wilder, his profile, no matter who he fights, is going to go down. You don't even know who he's going to fight, but you know that it's going to go down. That doesn't make sense. How you know his profile is going to go down, and we don't even know if it's Dominic Breazeale, Tyson Fury, or someone else, or Luis Ortiz rematch. We don't know. We don't know who he's fighting next. So how you know it's going to go down? See, this is how you know when people aren't being real. Because if you, let's say I have a great idea, and then someone's like, man, fuck that idea. That shit ain't going to work. But I haven't even told you the idea. So that's how you know somebody's hating. How can you say my idea won't work if I never even told you what it is? You don't even know who Wilder's going to fight definitively, because I don't. Nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Because he actually doesn't have to fight his mandatory next, because he fought his mandatory in Bermain-Stavern last October or November, maybe. It might have been November. I was at the fight, right? So if he he's good for like some time, you know what I mean? So he doesn't even have to fight him next. And the WBC already said that. They had an interview and he said he could fight a voluntary, he could fight a unification with Joshua. He's good. He's good on his mandatories. And the WBC likes Wilder. So how you don't even know who he's gonna fight. You don't know if it's Dominic Breazeale. You think it's Dominic Breazeale, but you don't know. You know? So how you gonna say it won't work or his profile is gonna drop? Like what if they do a new movie? Like what if they do Get Out Part 2 and they cast Deontay Wilder as a role? How you gonna say, if you didn't know that was a thing, how you gonna say his stock is going down? What if they do Black Panther 2, Ryan Coogler and what's the name, Chadwick Boseman, and they put Wilder as a fucking Wakanda soldier in it? You know what I'm saying? And you already saying his profile is going down. No matter what, you don't know what the future holds. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's how you know when someone's hating. Oh, Joshua is, and then again, go to Joshua's social media. It don't look like his profile's going up because people keep saying he's like ducking and upset at him right now for fighting Povetkin. So where is Eddie Hearn getting this? Where's Eddie Hearn getting this notion that Joshua's profile is skyrocketing through the roof? But then when I go to Anthony Joshua's his own page, that's not what people are saying. People are like, what the fuck? No one gives a shit about this. Look. He posted this picture of him and Povetkin. You stay hiding. The first comment I seen, you stay hiding from Wilder. You ain't fooling nobody. Shout out to Arab King. That's the first. Just so you guys know, this ain't no foul play or tricks. Hold on. Look. The new mecca of boxing. And these are fighters that know Joshua. Hold on. I'm trying to get it. You're hiding from Wilder. 401 likes. I'm unfollowing this nigga till he fight Wilder. 170. So, like, you know what I'm saying? And listen, I don't have to babysit y'all. Y'all could go to his own page and pull it up and show everything that I'm talking about. So once again, Eddie Hearn keeps saying Joshua's skyrocketing right now. But first he has to get past Povetkin, like in the fight, and the public perception is that there's a lot of people on this thing saying you ducking. They weren't saying this as much 2-3 fights ago. But people see how this whole situation played out, and they're not stupid. So, I mean, it's really just damage control. I don't even really have to elaborate anymore. It's damage control. You know it's not you know what it is. You know people are disappointed you're not fighting Wilder. You even admitted Wilder's a bigger fight. See, listen. Listen, y'all getting bodied the fuck up. I love this. This is what I live for. I'll make this shit my whole life's work. You're not coming to America on some disrespect shit. You know what I mean? Nobody. Ain't nobody doing that. Not on my watch. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have to outwork me. And that ain't happening. I'm going to show y'all. So, see, like, this instantly stops. This instantly stops all discussion. Hold on. Almost thought you would come with the ether. Listen.
Because his team are more sensible. I believe he wants the fight, so it's very straightforward. Listen, the Povetkin fight's not as big as the Wilder fight. So obviously when you get a fight between two...
He just said it. The Povetkin fight is not as big as the Wilder fight. He just told you out of his own mouth. See, this is what new media is doing. Y'all are getting killed with things coming from that side. Some of it comes from Wilder, but it's like this much that's coming from Team Wilder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of what's coming from Team Wilder is a repeat of what other motherfuckers like myself have already been telling you. But a lot of the most damaging evidence against their case came in-house. Came from Team Joshua. Smash the like button. We working. He just told you that. He just said, listen, the Povetkin fight is not bigger than the Wilder fight. He said that out of his own mouth. So, I said that to say this. Hey, block Suleiman. Wilder, no, hold on. We'll do a hot seat. We got a hot seat because these dudes are just trying to disrupt some shit. I got time today, though. Today I got time. Suleiman Askar, you got one opportunity to explain the dumb shit you just put. You said Deontay Wilder doesn't want to fight Manuel Char. Manuel Char and Amir Mansour? You have to be kidding. Didn't he get like shot or stabbed or something? Like, who is Manuel Char? Where's he even been? Manuel will get charged versus Wilder. So explain that. You got one. Listen, fuck all that. If you say anything that is not a direct response, Suleiman Askar, we're going to send your ass back to Askar, or wherever the fuck you from. Asgard or whatever. Manuel Char? Like, that's a new argument. So I got to hear this. If your response says anything, if it's an emoji, a smile, an LOL, if it's anything other than answer, then you automatically terminate it. Because that was some dumb shit you just said. Manuel Char. Yes, Manuel Char is the WBA heavyweight champion. Once again, get him the fuck out of here. No explanation. You just confirmed what we already knew. You said he's ducking Manuel Char. But then you just told me what belt he has. Wilder's not a WBA champion. The WBA is doing favors for Joshua. Oh yeah, 24 hours, Povetkin only. Get him out of here. Get him out of my face. Thank you. That was stupid. Manuel Char. These dudes, once again, over time, desperation shows. Straight up. If you're desperate, it's going to show over time. Like, let's say you want to get a girl. I'm going to tell you some alpha male shit. If you want to get a girl and you're desperate for that girl, over time it'll show. Because somehow, some way, you could try to play it cool, but if you don't calm your nerves and relax a bit, and you're trying too hard to impress, it's gonna show over time. And that's what's happening right now. These dudes know they're getting body bags, so it's just, they're saying even worse stuff than they were saying before. Before they were saying some alright arguments, and then those got proven wrong over time after more interviews or facts came out. Now they just saying stupid shit. Right? Manuel Char. When's the last time he even fucking fought? I'm not even being funny. I thought he got shot or stabbed or something. I seen him in a stretcher in a picture. Somebody chased him or something. The dude's talking about Manuel Char. And oh yeah, he's a WBA regular champion. Who gives a fuck? Joshua got the regular WBA, the one that counts. So what does Manuel Char got to do with it? Wilder's not a WBA champion. You see how stupid? And then he said Amir Mansour. He got power, but he lost to Steve Cunningham. And he lost to Dominic Brazil, even though he was doing pretty good in that fight. And I don't know when the last time he fought. So how is he ducking? You named two people that aren't even like popping. Like you didn't say he's ducking Tyson Fury or Cannon Britt. You named two people that the motherfucker's ducking David Tuitt. Like David Tuitt, is he even fighting anymore? What are you talking about? He's ducking Michael Moore. Y'all motherfuckers is idiots. Oh well, don't make me look bad. They can say the dumb stuff. He said so Povetkin signed a flat fee. That's hella funny. Yeah, I doubt that. Listen, Axel, who do you think Wilder will fight next? I don't give a fuck. He can fight Krusty the Clown. Hey, kid. He could fight Krusty the Clown. I don't care. Because we know who he was trying to fight, and we know why that fight didn't happen. So fight Krusty the fucking Clown. I don't care. And I'll probably go to the fight. Yes, spend my own hard-earned money to travel to that fight, to support the American champion. Because at the end of the day, we know why he didn't fight who he wanted to fight. So if he fights Krusty the Clown, then that's what it is. I'm gonna be on that plane, and I'm gonna support. Because I at the end, it's just like Errol Spence. It's not that I had to go to Texas for Ocampo, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going out there because I know what it is. I said I know what it is. Errol Spence is doing what he has to do. That was his mandatory. Other motherfuckers don't seem to want to fight him. So yeah, you could bet your last bottom dollar that I'll support. I've been to Omaha for Terrence Crawford fight. John Molina. It wasn't the biggest fight. It wasn't the most meaningful fight. Broner had already beat Molina. DeMarco, other people. But I'll go to support true talent, true skill. Shout out to Terrence Crawford getting that ESPY award, well deserved. He's the fighter of the year 2018. But I go out to support what's real. You know what I mean? I go to other shit too. Like Triple G versus Vanes. That's just because I ain't had shit to do that weekend. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If there was a better fight going on, I wouldn't have went to Triple G versus Vanes. But there was just nothing else that particular weekend. You know what I mean? It was whatever. So I just went out there. But I definitely try to get to it, because especially like I said with Wilder, he can fight whoever he wants because we know why he didn't get the guy he did want. Straight up. Straight up. But I like how Americans are coming together, seeing what's real. I just encourage y'all all to just look at the facts, people. Look at the facts. You know what I mean? Joshua said something like, this is literally, that's why I know the UK is different. The UK is different. Their culture, their humor is different, because what's passable is not passable, because Americans ain't falling for the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying UK, everybody in the UK falls for it, but you definitely not going to be able to get it. Okay, Joshua, why did you say you want 50 million and then turn down the 50 million? Oh, you're going to take, why'd you take 30 seconds out of a full interview and use it against me? The fact that you have to say use it against me lets me know that you shouldn't have said it, and you know that. Because if it's something you said, why is it using against me? You know what I'm saying? I have 2-hour stream. I did a 3-hour stream earlier today. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If somebody could take 15 seconds out of that and upload it in an interview, I'm not gonna be like, why are you gonna use that against me? Because I don't care. Because I know what I said. I was there when I said it, and I wanted to say it, and I stand by it. Whether if it was a joke or if it was a commentary or, you know what I mean, a comment, I'm not ashamed of it. So that tells me right there, saying, hey, how you gonna use something against me? What? It's not, nobody's trying to use something against it. We're just going off of what you said recently. So I think he realized that he shouldn't have said that. After him and his team, or Eddie or whoever, Barry, got in his ear, they're like, man, why'd you do that? Why'd you say that? Now you got these Americans trying to push for the fight, and it's building their case. Listen, I told you, I made a video a couple of days ago. Eddie Hearn doesn't realize you've actually raised Wilder's profile in a quicker amount of time just with the fucked up negotiations and getting you tried to badmouth them, but it's backfired because now it's making him more popular and it's making your fighter perceived as like, you know what I'm saying, a non-warrior, like he's avoiding the fight. I know they didn't anticipate that. Lobster Mayweather says, ego, I'm with you, but I feel for Wilder, he is being mismanaged. Well, I don't relate to you. What is he being mismanaged for? What how is he being mismanaged? For what is mismanaged? He's not getting main events. He's not making more than the average fighter. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all just say stuff. Hey, oh, I feel for you, but he's being mismanaged. Do you know what the term mismanaged means? Like Demetrius Andrade, if you say he was mismanaged, I would say, okay, I can understand that a little bit, because mismanaged to me, or at least my definition of it, is closer to that. Because Demetrius Andrade, as talented as he is, he wasn't getting any big fights. And then the opportunities he had for big fights, for whatever reason, somebody was in his ear saying, or he decided or whatever, don't fight that. But you fought Jack Kukle, but you could have fought Jermell Charlo, and he pulled out over money. You know what I mean? You've been inactive. So how is Wilder being mismanaged? See, there has to be some accountability in boxing. Y'all just say stuff, but we want to hear answers. I can explain every single thing that I feel. Right or wrong, I can explain it. You just said, oh, I feel you, but Wilder's being mismanaged. He is not being promoted by his own promoter as much as he should be getting promoted. He should be making way more, should be in a better position, and he has been able to get big fights than that often. We don't just say stuff, it takes time to type. Bro, what you just said sounds like, it doesn't sound like it holds true, to be honest. First of all, you say he's not being promoted by his promoter. He doesn't have a promoter. He has an advisor. And I think his advisor is doing a good job. As far as promoter, how is he not being promoted well, but he holds the record for Showtime's highest viewership? See, if you want to talk to me, you got to talk with some sense. Wilder's fight with Strm up until the Luis Ortiz fight, those are the two highest viewerships that Showtime has had. So what are you talking about? So Adrian Broner fought Mikey Garcia, right? On Showtime. There's been a lot of great fights. James DeGale, Badu Jack. Adonis Stevenson versus Badu Jack, right? There's all these great fights that Showtime's had since Wilder Strm, which was like 2013 or some shit. Out of all these fights on regular Showtime, nobody has had higher ratings than Deontay Wilder, what he just did with Luis Ortiz on the network, because Showtime is smaller than HBO. They have less subscribers. So once again, what in the fuck are you talking about? Bro, you're like really on the verge of getting blocked because you're wasting my time. He stated many times Al Heyman is his promoter. Al Heyman can't promote because of the Muhammad Ali Act. You can't work as a promoter and an advisor. Once again, what in the fuck are you talking about? And I know you've been in the streams before, so you should already know the routine. Al Heyman's not his promoter because it is illegal. And then you said, I know he's getting big numbers, bro. But then why is he mismanaged if you know he's... Like, bro, you might as well just dead this, because you're not making any sense and you're not helping me understand your point. So you're going to get blocked. And you're from the UK because you said apologize with the S. Please stop. You're not... Oh, he's being mismanaged. If you want to make a statement, I'm okay for other opinions, but you're not making sense. You just said he's mismanaged, but then you say, I know he's doing big numbers. That's like an oxymoron. All right, cool. We're moving on. But you guys got to make sense. That's all I'm asking for the Army, new media. You're saying he's being mismanaged, but I don't think he, like, as far as earlier in his career, look at Triple G. Look at Triple G. Triple G had promoter issues. His first, okay, put it this way. Triple G, I don't know how many fights he has. Triple G is older than Wilder. Who in the fuck did he fight before Kell Brook? So whatever number Kell Brook, whatever fight number that was, who was he fighting? Who was Triple G fighting? Like, really? Like, where was his big fights? I'm just curious. Where was Triple G's big fights? Someone said Willie Monroe. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you're talking about mismanaged. Triple G never... different fighters have different journeys. Canelo, he was 15, turned pro. Oscar stole him from the other promoter, All Star Boxing. And he had a sellable product, so they moved him real fast, just like they're doing Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, in 15 fights or whatever he got, they're talking about him sparring with Tank. He's doing main events because selling... Same thing with Joshua. Same thing with Lomachenko. It's deeper than just like skill and talent and stuff like that. It's the promoter has to some people they knew Lomachenko, he got blue eyes, he could scrap, he has an entertaining style. So Top Rank chose to move him like they did. They got other top talent, Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford didn't really get popping until he fought Bradis Prescott, and he didn't really get popping with Top Rank until he fought what's the name, Gamboa. You get what I'm saying? So it's deeper than that. If the promoter felt for whatever reason you have the look or the style or whatever, and they want to move you, then you're going to be put in different positions. So different fighters have different journeys to the bag. You know what I mean? Look at Swift Jared Hurd. He didn't really start, like, he's probably living his best life now. Swift Jared Hurd was on co-main events. He was fighting like Oscar Molina and shit. But now he's gaining a name for it. Okay, he beat Austin Trout impressively in the action fight. Then what happened? They put him in the next fight. That's how it is. You notice, like, see, I know what I'm saying. I know I'm speaking from the heart. Listen, have you ever seen an actor like Kevin Hart? That he's a perfect example. Kevin Hart has been a comedian. Kevin Hart's older than me. He's older than probably a lot of you in here. And he had been a comedian well before, but it's only up until semi-recently, because he's been at it for a while, where he started popping. Kevin Hart used to do B movies, like movies that never even went to, like Paper Soldiers. I actually like that movie, right? That was a Rockefeller film. But now he's bigger than that. He's doing Jumanjis and shit. But he had been a comedian. But he did that comedy special and it kind of blew up for him. And he took off. And that's what you notice with actors. Yeah, he was doing Soul Plane and shit like that. But that's what happens. You see an actor and then they get this one role, it does well. Then they get another role, that does well. And then it starts getting on and popping. Same thing with the homie from Jurassic World. The dude, Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. What's his name? Chris Pratt. He been around. He was married to the chick from Scary Movie, Anna Faris. He been around way longer than people look or know or whatever. But it wasn't until whatever breakout role, I don't know what it was for him. Jurassic Park, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then now it's on and cracking. And now he's doing the Avengers. And now he's doing Blockbuster. But he had been on the scene. That's how it works. So different fighters have different journeys. Like you look at Wilder. A lot of these promoters, they pay attention to you when you're already getting the buzz, because they have so many fighters, they don't know who to focus, so they just focus on who they want to focus on. But see, a person like Terrence Crawford, Top Rank wasn't really putting no dollars behind him. They wasn't, before the Bradis Prescott, a lot of y'all motherfuckers didn't even know who Terrence Crawford was. I'm talking about when he had dreads and he was fighting. Y'all didn't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? But after steady performance, Crawford got it popping. And then just today, he won an ESPY award. Technically, yesterday, he won an ESPY award. That's because he got it popping for himself and he let his body of work speak for itself. Always taking the challenge, always accepting the call to get these fights done. And then people start seeing how good he was, moving up, challenging himself. So it don't work like that. Listen, this is going to hurt some people's feelings. Vasyl Lomachenko is a good fighter, but the reason he's been able to accomplish what he's been able to accomplish in such a short period of time is because Top Rank put him in those positions. They believed he had the skill. Like, okay, that motherfucker got an amateur pedigree. His team wanted it. They wanted it fast because they knew he was older. And that's that. That's why. That's why. You know, like, your promoter has to want to put you into a title shot in your second fight. They're not going to ruin. That's why, okay, look at Top Rank. They didn't put, there's a lot of good fighters. There's Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Why don't they put them in a title shot? You know, they have, what's his name? Puerto Rican cat. The one that lost recently. Damn, he's been gone so long, I forgot his name. Oh, Felix Verdeo, right? So, how come they didn't put none of them in a title shot? Mick Connellan, he's an Olympian. Why didn't you put him in a title shot in his second pro fight? Because they didn't want to, because rightfully so, they're doing like they normally do with kids in that age group, get them experience on the job, and then they graduate to a pro shot. Lomachenko had stayed an amateur so long, so by the time he started turning pro, he was ready to go. So they just put him on that fast track. And that's what happened, because he don't have no fucking time to waste. He got to do what he got to do. Like, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if Lomachenko ends his career with the amount of fights of Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Bernard Hopkins. Right? I would be shocked because he started too late. He started too late. So if he fight, he gonna have to fight like way more than what he's fighting now, and that's a lot of wear and tear on your body as you get older. He started too late. So how's he going? Pacquiao got 60 fucking fights. Hey, Block Lobster Mayweather. He said Wilder lost his pen and he's a bum. I try to give these guys a chance. He got clobbered in the earlier hot seat. I try to let him live. So get your lobster ass out of here. See, when I see y'all, all I do is see food. Oh my gosh, bars. Let's get it. See, listen, the Lobster Mayweather's a perfect example. He apologized. He apologized with the S, so I knew he was from the UK. And he said he was from New York or some shit. But he apologized, and I let him live. I let him live, didn't say nothing, moved on to something else. We weren't even talking about Wilder. And then all of a sudden he came back, and he was like, oh, yeah, Wilder's lost his pen. Get the fuck out of here. And I feel you, Kennedy Linder, because I used to see his comments, and he was never acting like that. That's why I was like, that's one of the reasons why I let him live. But he was clearly a mole. And y'all know what we do to rats around here. Anyway, I would be shocked if Lomachenko ends up... Pacquiao has 60 fucking fights, right? Everyone has a different journey. That's my whole point. If I would be shocked, I would bet $5,000 right now, $5,000 that Lomachenko don't end his career with 60. You know what I mean? And actually, I'm not even gonna bet, because at the end of the day, it would take too long. It would take too long to prove. And fucking YouTube might not even be around by then. But he's not ending at 60 fights like Pacquiao. But Pacquiao has a different experience. Pacquiao, he was in the Philippines putting weights in his pocket to make weight to fight bigger guys. So he had to learn on the job. He had to get knocked out a couple of times before greatness. So each fighter has a different. So y'all talking about Wilder is mismanaged. Stop it. Listen. I'm going to get out of here, but I'm going to say this. I told you, no matter what points they bring up I can destroy them. Thanos snap. Just like that. Destroyed. They say Wilder, Eddie Hearn says, oh, no one knows Wilder in the UK. Stop it. Because whether they love him or don't like him or whatever, they're still, the UK people be coming to my video. Every time I do a stream about Joshua Wilder. Listen, let me read the quote for y'all so you can see how stupid this shit sounds. I like Deontay Wilder. They are both really good for the sport. I just wish Wilder was bigger over here, meaning the UK. He deserves to be bigger. He's a great fighter. He talks great and he's entertaining, but no one knows who he is, and he's the world heavyweight champion. You shouldn't be able to walk down any street in America without being recognized. Stop it, Eddie, please. Please, you're making it look so much worse for Joshua. Please stop. Because you could walk down America and nobody knows who you are. You could probably walk down certain places in the UK and no one knows who you are. You know, that doesn't mean you're like, my business, I do all right. I do cool for me. You know what I'm saying? But I could go to the Bay and someone might not know me at a grocery store or whatever in my own city. But who cares? Does that mean I'm not successful? Does it mean I don't have one of the most popping channels? Like, who cares about who knows you at a grocery store? Like, the fact is, the people who need to know him. If you watch boxing, you know him. America doesn't work like the UK. That's what I'm saying. All you guys UK want to move to America, it's a different experience. You know, oh, he's the American champ. No one should be able to not know who he is. Stop it. Shout out to Randy Ridley. I met celebrities at my job and had to ask my coworker, who is that? That's what I'm saying. Like, Colin Kaepernick, he's been in the news a lot, you know what I mean, with his protest, taking a knee. But I guarantee you, you go to Kroger's or some shit, Publix, there's someone that doesn't know who he is. He's a big dude, too. He's like probably like 6'6". Afro, like, you know what I mean? So he would stand out. And there's some people that they're not going to know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Nelson Mandela can come to America when he was alive. And some people probably just didn't know who he is. So stop it. America's just too big. It doesn't work like that. That's what I'm saying. You in a place that's this big trying to compare it to a place that's this big. It doesn't make sense. Oh, wow. Ego, tell that dude Donald Trump knows Wilder. That's what I'm saying. He's in the White House. You talking about how a random Samaritan doesn't know who he is. That just sound and see, listen, this is how I destroy these guys. I'm giving y'all the game. I'm giving y'all the formula. These fan types of like casual ass ways of thinking. What, nobody knows Wilder in the UK. That's his words. He says he should be. I'm gonna read it again. I like Wilder. They are both good for the sport. I just wish Wilder was bigger over here. He deserves to be bigger. He's a great fighter. He talks great and he's entertaining. But no one knows who he is. Why do you want him on DAZN? Why do you want to sign him? You are on record saying that. So forever, you will always get abolished and destroyed and annihilated when you're talking to me. Because that alone makes no sense. Nobody knows him in the UK, yet you as a UK promoter who hasn't really made his mark in America want to acquire him. You want to bring him allegedly to Wembley where nobody knows him to fight Joshua. Make this make sense. Nobody knows him, but you're going to add seats to the already large Wembley, 90,000 it holds or whatever, and you said you're going to scale it up to 100,000 in April, and you're hoping for the Wilder fight. So why are you going to add seats if nobody in the UK knows? See, this is the type of dumb rhetoric, and you guys get clapped up each and every time because it sounds so ridiculously stupid that you have to be on bath salts to even think like this. No one knows Wilder, but you want to sign him. Nobody in the UK knows Wilder, but you want him to fight in the UK, and you want to configure Wembley to hold more seats than it normally does in hopes of breaking a record with great fights like Joshua Klitschko and Crawford, George Groves too. This doesn't make sense. Nobody knows him, but you want to sign him. Nobody knows him, but he's with Dr. Dre and LL Cool J. Nobody knows him, but he's at the Equalizer 2 premiere. Nobody knows him in the UK, but you want to bring him to the UK. Nobody knows him in the UK, but you're going to configure the UK to hold a maximum amount of people that the Wembley can hold. Nobody knows him, but you want to offer him $5 million for a takeover fight. Stop it. All of this sounds utterly ridiculous, and it's ruining Joshua's credibility. So I don't know where he's getting this. Oh, it's skyrocket. You're making it worse, dog. Like, because none of it makes sense. You got to make stuff make sense. Nobody knows him, but nobody knows him in the UK, but you said it's gonna be it's the biggest fight in world boxing. Somebody, I'm waiting for you guys to jump in and tell me how I'm wrong. That's what I've been waiting for. Biggest fight in world boxing, but nobody knows one guy. So Dominic Breazeale versus Anthony Joshua wasn't the biggest fight in world boxing. You know why? Because one guy, nobody knew him. But you're claiming nobody knows Deontay Wilder, but you're also saying it's the biggest fight in world boxing. Come on. Y'all listen. I told you, new media, we deading all that shit. Everyone calling people bums for no reason. People saying this person cherry picked and they didn't. People saying nobody knows him. He's a runner. His style's boring. We coming to dead all that. We deading all that. Oh, Canelo ran. No, we not accepting that. All these weak ass excuses. Nobody's accepting that. Oh, he's a runner. Nope. You figure it out. Figure out how to beat that runner. We not buying that. Oh, nobody knows this fighter. Well, I know him. You know what I'm saying? See, now I'm taking it personal. Nobody knows him, but they know me. I got over 100-something subscribers on this channel from the mud. So now you saying nobody knows me because I've been talking about this dude on my channel and it's getting views. How does nobody know him? You see what I'm saying? Why YouTube giving me these checks? Why am I getting these checks talking about the man if nobody know him? Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all gonna turn this to something else. TB ego. Okay. Nobody know him, but I'm getting checks. Why Google paying me? Why they give me these checks? Because nobody know him. Some of the best videos that I've done recently is about him. And I'm talking about him. So nobody believes you. Explain, I should be homeless. I should not be able to travel. Because my analytics on YouTube tell me that you're lying. Because I'm doing videos about him and they're getting views and I'm gaining subscribers from it. So for you to say, oh, nobody knows him. Come on, man. Come on. And like I said, if he could do whatever he wants. But as long as he keeps like perpetuating this stuff, then we got work to do. Because I'm not letting that ride. That like you're doing too much. You know what I mean? Oh, nobody knows him. But why'd you say it's the biggest fight in world boxing then? And listen, I'm not a millionaire. He has more money than me or whatever. But we can definitely put stacks and have a decathlon. You know what I mean? We can put a couple stacks up or whatever. We'll do a phone interview. You got to answer the question. I'll answer anything you want me to. Anything. You know, regarding this fight, right? And we'll see who stumps who. We'll see who stumps who. You know what I mean? We'll see who has to it'll be like Cassidy. I promise you, it'll be like Cassidy versus Freeway for those hip hop fans. Where you know what I mean? Freeway spit bars. I run with the rock, AKAR, the heat with the Glock, right? And then after a couple Cassidy bars, he was like, "Come on, put a beat on." Put a beat on. That Eddie Hearn gonna be talking about some put a beat on. Freeway spit bar. I run with the rock. AKAR. The heat with the Glock. Got the M6 thing when it ready to pop. When it ready. He gonna be like, put a beat on. Hey, he gonna put a beat on. Nah, we doing this a cappella. Man, I leave you slumped in the dumpster like Brenda, baby. I put you to sleep like a boring movie. I get powder every hour like diaper rashes. He said, then pipe and bag it. I get powder every hour like diaper rashes. That I promise you. I promise you it'll be that. Yo, ego, put a beat on. That is gonna be some. Trust me, I'm gonna be just like Cassidy in his prime. Man, it's whatever you trying to do, dog. Bet we could bet whatever. He don't even know what to say. He flabbergasted. I'm gonna be like, he flabbergasted. Bars. I'm telling y'all, because these points don't hold up. Nobody knows them, but you want to sign them. Nobody knows him, but you want to configure the already large Wembley to hold more than Joshua Klitschko had. Explain that. So one intelligent person, your dumbass will be in the hot seat. Explain that before I get off. Joshua Klitschko was a big fight. Klitschko was coming off a loss, but it was still a big fight. Why do you say, Wilder, he already has the contract, he should sign it for April, and you have a tweet on Twitter saying that you want to configure it to hold 100,000, over 100,000 people? Why do you want him in April and you want to add seats to it? Why would you do that for somebody that UK motherfuckers don't know? You had the Eric Molina fight at like the O2 Arena or some shit. So why don't you take the Wilder fight to the O2 Arena? That's why none of it makes sense. Oh, this is a $40 million fight. It's not gonna barely make no money. You know you lying. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really believe that, put it in the O2 Arena. Why you want it at Wembley? Why don't you put it in a small venue? Because why you want a greater venue? Like, if let's say I was having a wedding. Let's say I was getting married and I was having a small wedding and I'm only inviting 15 people. I don't need this big ass wedding cake and it's overkill for the wedding, right? Why would I get if we're budgeting, why would I get a big ass cake that accommodates 200 guests and I know I'm only bringing 15 people to the wedding? So if Eddie really believes what he's saying, like, oh yeah, then why are you trying to scale the Wembley up to 100K plus, right? Why don't you put in the O2 Arena, something much smaller? If you think it's not going to sell that much, put in something nice and quaint, like the O2 Arena holds like 20,000 or so. Yeah, man, you guys see this Ego's Army start writing on you. He said AJ versus Pulev sold 70,000 before he pulled out, and he's not really known in the UK. That's what I'm saying. Fucking all of AJ's opponents, except for like Dillian White and Klitschko and a couple motherfuckers. Dominic Brazil was just popping out in the UK at the time when Joshua had the title defense. Stop it. People don't believe this, and the more they try to explain, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. It gets way worse because the stuff sounds like ludicrous. Now, I'm not talking about disturbing the peace, but I will disturb the peace. Nobody knows them, but you're trying to scale up the Wembley. Okay. That makes all the sense in the world. Because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? You don't see motherfuckers, they're single with no plans of starting a family or get a pet, and they buy a large ass house or some shit or a big ass car that holds 8 people and they don't ever have people in their car. You know what I'm saying? Who does that? So Eddie knows what it is, man. Y'all can say whatever, but just know who's growing and who's not in this boxing game. And then Joshua saying, oh, you want to take 30 seconds out of an interview? What that mean? You still said it in those 30 seconds. So why should people exclude what you said in your interview? Like, that doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's mad. So, a lot of questions. A lot of questions regarding this particular fight. But it looked like Joshua was trying to get out of there, out of Dodge, when he was in New York. So my advice, I really think they should stop even mentioning the Wilder stuff, or Just let it die down a little bit.
Such a fight. This is a fight. Do you know what it is? Of this fight. Do you know what it is, right? It's unheard of. Why is everyone talking about money? We all know that. Him say no. But we all know there's money around the place. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about money. That's a lot of money to ask for, and he's got it. Right? You know?
He said, "Why is everyone talking about money?" What? But listen, money rules are cash rules everything around me. Why is everyone talking about money? If money is so insignificant, then why not give him more? If no one it's just money. Why is Eddie Hearn saying he could get 50-50. He could get 60-40. He could get a fucking percent. Bro, this is crazy. If there's enough money to go around, then why does he get a flat fee? You know, Joseph Parker, did he get a flat fee? Is Povetkin getting a flat fee? See, that's the thing. They're not revealing the logistics.
It's a flat fee for such a fight. This is the fight. Do you know what it is? The magnitude of this fight. Do you know what it is, right? It's unheard of. Why is everyone talking about money? We all know that. Him say no. We all know there's money around the place. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about money. That's a lot of money to ask for, and he's got it. Would you not be happy with that kind of money?
These are some of the weakest talking points I've heard. He said, you're asking Ness of the Boxing Voice, no disrespect, shout out to Ness, but you're asking him, would he be content with $15 million? Of course, everybody would be content with $15 million that is just trying to get 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not millionaires. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but most guys who cover boxing and YouTube probably aren't millionaires. They could be doing well for themselves. But, I mean, 1 million just off of the strength of YouTube? I mean, come on. Like, in boxing, probably not. So, he's like, oh, what? So the question that he asked back is really of no consequence. It's really insignificant. Hey, would you not be happy with $15 million? So, okay, so basically, like The Rock. If I say, hey, Rock, I'm doing an independent film, and Dwayne Rock Johnson, I want you to play the enforcer in this. I'm going to give you $100,000, right? To The Rock, he's done movie roles for way more than that. So that's like him saying, oh, I got to turn it down. There's other more lucrative roles. They want me to do the Fast and Furious Hobbs spinoff. I can't really do that for $100,000. And I'm like, oh, and I look at the guy that goes to get coffee or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Look at somebody else on the movie set. The guy's running coffee errands. Like, hey, you wouldn't do this for $100,000? Of course he would, because he's not the person in question. He's not the one risking his life. You get what I'm saying? So that was a weak comeback point. You get what I'm saying? So everything's relative. You have to put it in perspective. You have to put it in perspective of the situation. Yeah, okay. You ask any of the boxing channels on YouTube if we would take $15 million. Yeah, most of us would probably say, fucking yeah, sign me up. You know what I mean? But Wilder's already made millions before. He already has whatever ventures and, you know, his family's straight. And I used this example before. If I had my own, you know how Mark Wahlberg has Wahlburgers? If I had Ego's Burgers and I say, hey, Kennedy Linder, you said you a good chef, right? And he's like, hell yeah. I'm saying you the best griller. Yeah, I believe that. I make the best barbecue. All right, come work for my Ego's Burger restaurant. I'm going to give you $2 an hour. Like, $2? No, I can't really do nothing. You got other people in the place working, and they making way more than that, or whatever the situation, right? No, you say you a good griller, get $2. Get $2 an hour. Like these are like the most juvenile like logics. Who's Cashero? Just block Cashero. Just block him. Just get him out of there. I seen what he said. Get him out of here. I'm not arguing that dumb shit. just block Castro. Because that's not even worth my time. Anybody watching the replay, you can go read what he said. That's not even worth it. He's just trying to mess up the flow. Nah, I'm not wasting hot seat because I'm about to get off of here soon. So I'm not doing no hot seat for that dumb shit. I know. See, and this is what happens. They love the hot seat so much, so people just come in saying the most outlandish stuff. I'm not doing that. You do it for the culture. Bro, I already said what I said. So, Huddy, if you keep pressing the issue, you can go too. I'm not playing these games. I'm not letting people dictate. I dictate. This is my channel along with the Eagles Army, but I am the host. You know what I mean? I'm not letting no dumb motherfucker come in and just dictate, especially at certain points. I got stuff I have to get off, so I have to pace myself. Anyway, that's to me, that's a bad comeback. Oh, you wouldn't take 15 mil? Yeah, but Ness is not risking his life to cover it. You know what I'm saying? So what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean? That doesn't really make sense. Oh yeah, 15 mil is good money. Would you not take it? Yeah, if all the motherfuckers who never made $1 million would probably take it, but it's all relative to the situation. 15 million is a good amount of money, but if somebody's gonna reap all the benefits on the back end, then that 15 million, like if you know everybody else is eating way more than you, then that's something different.
So what we're saying now is that unfortunately I have a belt, right? And it's the WBA.
Hey, that said you said they can wait till 2020. Oh my gosh. He said I think I missed that part. That's funny. He said you said we could wait till 2020 possibly, and he said no. What I said, right? He said I got a belt, so unfortunately, no. You actually did say that. You were next to Johnny Nelson on the apron of a ring, and you said, "Oh, I'm not going to be pressured with my career. I'm the champ, and maybe it's this year, maybe it's the next year, maybe the year after that." So if you do the math, the year after that would be 2020.
And I have to fight my mandatory challenger. Remember, me and Wilder were supposed to fight after TACAM. Negotiations fell through, so I fought another champion. I didn't fight no one below like top 5 in the world. I fought a champion. So then after that, the fight was supposed to happen again. It still didn't happen, so I have to fight my mandatory. So what I've done now is place the date. As he said, set the date. Don't be late. We set a date now. Wait, April 13th. Set the date. I've signed my side. What more is there to ask for?
Okay. He said I set the date. Listen though. Hey, Eagles Army, y'all be riding. Adam said they did not even send a contract after Carlos Takam. That's what I'm saying. This whole thing this is bad, man. This is bad. I mean, he said we were supposed to fight after the Takam fight, but you negotiated with Joseph Parker in the long negotiation, and you never were negotiating with Wilder. So what are you talking about? This is bad, yo. And then he says we were supposed to fight. Now what we're saying is you said make the date. Yeah, they said make it this year. They wanted to make it ASAP. Make it now. And then now that you're fighting Povetkin, now you're trying to force them to sign something that's 9 months away. That's not how it works. Listen, explain the logic. Why would Wilder not watch the outcome of the Povetkin fight and then sign his life away to failed negotiations for 2018 to fight you in April? So you already realize you're not fighting the man this year, because they went from saying we're going to fight 3 times a year to now 2. Povetkin is getting that last slot, and this is evident by Wembley. It says his next 2 fights are at Wembley, September and April, if you needed more confirmation that they're not fighting again this year. So if you're not getting the fight right now in 2018 for the remainder of the month, why would anyone sign without seeing how he looks, right? Without seeing how he looks versus Povetkin. What's the rush now? You couldn't rush and get it done, or the WBA stepped in, whatever bullshit you want to use, fine, whatever. We're past that. But why would anyone, you're in there with a dangerous puncher, a fellow gold medalist, why would anyone sign right now without watching that when they know they're not having the fight next? I mean, I would love to hear some of these answers from all you man fans. James Souza, he said if Povetkin wins and Joshua got 0 belts, perfect example. That's the worst case scenario for Joshua. What if Povetkin knocks out Joshua? So Wilder has a signed contract, or Matchroom has a signed, DAZN, whoever the fuck, Eddie Hearn has a signed contract, and then Joshua no longer has the belts. So he got to fight Joshua when he should be wanting to unify with Povetkin, the fight he was already supposed to fight. That doesn't even make sense. So even if Joshua wins, what if he wins controversially, and you signed away to that? And see, this is how you know Eddie Hearn. Like, I'm just gonna say he's lying. Here's how you know, because he's acting as if he's a psychic. He's lying for the simple fact he says that Wilder, his stock is going down, and you don't know who he's fighting, and you said Joshua's stock is going up, and you don't know what his performance is gonna be. So how can you assure that Joshua's after this fight, unless it's rigged, unless it's a fix or something? How can you tell us wholeheartedly, in your heart of all hearts, against a dangerous foe, which Eddie Hearn says, I don't like this fight, right? How can you assure us that his profile is gonna raise and Deontay Wilder's are gonna go down? So that alone tells you these guys they're not saying real shit. You don't know who Wilder's fighting, but you can assure us that it's going to hurt his profile to the point where he deserves less money. You don't know how Joshua's going to look because the fight hasn't happened, but you can assure us that his profile is on the incline, when at least right now he's getting a lot of flack for even taking the Povetkin fight. You know, boxing is weird like that. Your whole profile can change in one fight. Like Lucas Matisse. Some people were giving Lucas Matisse a shot to beat Pacquiao. He certainly had the power to do it. But after his performance, after we got to see how he looked versus Pacquiao, now people are like, I don't want to watch him fight again. He quit again. You know what I'm saying? He's not the same fighter. He should retire. So one fight can definitely change a lot of shit. So again, how can Eddie Hearn make these bold statements about Wilder's profile? You don't know what the rest of his year holds. It's not even just boxing. Like I said, what if they do a Training Day 2, a Black Panther 2 movie, and they cast Wilder as one of the roles? Get Out Part 2, and Wilder does a John Cena, and then gets popularity doing the role in the movie or something. You're gonna say his stock is going down when it actually went up? And like I said, you're in there with Povetkin, who definitely presents a danger. So Joshua's going to have to look sharp for his performance to go up. And I don't even see how it's going to go up tremendously when you already beat the guy that beat the guy. You already beat Klitschko. So it's not like people want to see you fight Wilder, So even if you beat Povetkin, you already beat Klitschko. So I don't see how it's going to elevate and skyrocket like you think. Povetkin ain't really done nothing recently. How you ban Wilder? Eagle Army is just riding out right now, and it's crazy, and I love it. He said, how you gonna ban Wilder from the ring, and I'm supposed to think Wilder is scared? And see, that's the thing. Like, this whole situation is just bad. Whole situation is bad. And it's mostly because they keep saying extra stuff, but we'll just be there to pick up the pieces. That's really what it is. That's crazy. Wilder and Gerald Miller was just in your face, but you didn't let Wilder in the ring, and he gave you notice that he was going to get in the ring. So it's a fight, you know what I mean? You can't control how people, you still had to deal with it with Gerald Miller. You know what I'm saying? But Wilder told you, hey, I'm getting in the ring. If he beats Parker, I'm getting in the ring. And no, you're not. And then you still were in the same type of situation, like where you had to get grilled, or you know what I'm saying, someone's in your face talking shit to you. And actually, Gerald Miller, that's my dude, but you know what I mean, a lot of people say he crossed the line. He's talking about, you know what I mean, he probably pushed it a little bit far, like talking about what's the name's mom. Like, I wouldn't have said nothing about the man's mom like that. You know what I mean? I don't think Wilder would have took it there. I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak for a fighter who has adrenaline, but you know, Gerald Miller maybe even crossed the line talking about Duke's mom. So you still had to deal with the same type of energy. Wilder's a smart person, you know what I mean? I don't think he was just going to get in there and just sock you in front of national TV or some shit. You know, I don't think it would escalate that far, because he'd be in jail and that'd be messing up his money. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Why couldn't Wilder get in the ring? It like I said, it wouldn't have been from my perspective, I don't think it would have been any worse than what Gerald Miller did. You know what I mean? He said, oh, you a pussy. Take that thong off. Something. I'll take your mom on a date. Like, I mean, that was like OD. So, you know what I mean? What's the difference? And see, listen, the thing is, people see the situation, and then if you handle a situation a certain way and you turn out 50 million, now people are trying to test you. You know what I mean? Once it looks like somebody else pulled your card, then other people might try to test you. That's just, at least in America. Like shout out to Jay Prince. Jay Prince is a don. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a boss. Everybody know what it is. Everybody know to leave that man alone on some street shit, right? So if somebody did something to Jay Prince and then they got handled for doing it, then that sends a message and shockwaves like, yo, don't mess with the princes. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with Jay Prince. Right? But if there's another person, you know what I'm saying? Let's say Wally Willie or some shit, and then the video surfaces, he gets slapped the fuck up in the club and don't swing or nothing, then people are gonna try to pull your card. People know not to fuck with Jay Prince. That's a legend. Like, you know what I'm saying? That he got a book that's selling. Make sure y'all get his book. But people know what it is with the princes, with the Prince family. But like I said, if there's some new cat named Wally Willie or something, and there's a video of him get slapped the fuck up and doing nothing about it, then people are gonna challenge you even more. Cause like, oh shit, he just got slapped and disrespected and he didn't even do nothing. Remember when Young Bird got slapped by another OG, Trick in Detroit? Them Detroit dudes ain't playing either. You know what I mean? Them Detroit dudes is not playing one bit. And Trick, whatever happened, he got his chains, this old shit now, but you know what I mean? Whatever happened to Young Bird, people knew what it was. So they knew Bird wasn't about that life, and Trick or Detroit, whoever did it, I don't remember. Whoever did whatever in Detroit was with it. So, you know what I mean? There's certain people you play with and certain people you don't play with. That's what I'm saying. And if there's a perception out there on you, then people are gonna try to pull your card. That's how it works, to be honest. So I don't know, man. It's just looking bad for like just the responses from Joshua. Just they're not strong enough. Oh, you're just gonna take 30 seconds out of a whole interview. But you still said it in those 30 seconds. So why can it not be used against you? You'd be like, oh, this is the thing, right? They say, oh, you don't want to fight until 2020. Oh, I have to fight mandatories. Nobody's really kind of trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to fight mandatories. Everyone has mandatories. Here, hold on, let me see if I got the clip. Listen, Joshua keeps talking about fighting mandatories.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And I'm still dealing with it to this day, to the point where I still have rage in me. I still I'm finding myself snapping faster than what, I'm finding myself not participating in certain things that it was, oh my God, like that's crazy, man. It really tore me. It really taught me. Another time I'm able to prove myself among the world. for somebody to come and shut this big mouth up. And I thought that King Kong would be the man. Although New York wasn't going to be the great place for him due to the history of King Kong. And, you know, it wasn't going to be a good luck. But I blessed him with the opportunity, and he disappointed me so much, man. You know, I never cried in anger since I was a child. Blood eyes red has fallen. A lot of stuff inside you. And for this man to get this big, to have something that make me motivated to be able to back up what I say, because 99 out of times I'm backing up what I'm saying. Trust me. So if you're going to war, you need me beside you. Not behind you, not in front of you, beside you. And for this man to get this big break that I blessed him with, for one, because he's been waiting for a long time due to the age and due to the thing. It's a lot of stuff that was against him at this point in time. But here I am, not wanting to fight. My mandatory.
Ryan Garcia. That's the point. Hold on. Listen.
Not wanting to fight. My mandatory.
Listen.
But here I am, not wanting to fight. My mandatory, which people forget the understanding and the meaning behind mandatory. No, I haven't done not one mandatory, ever. In fact, they have put themselves out of the fight with these substances. It's not my fault. But I give this man the opportunity of a lifetime. He could have still been on the shelf waiting for the WBA, waiting for Joshua. But I said, you know what? I'm going to take out Joshua trash. That's how I feel. I'm going to take his trash out for him. Gave this man the opportunity, and what did he do? It was, oh my God.
Boom. New media. But that's the difference in mindsets. That's what I'm talking about. Joshua keeps talking about fighting his mandatory. And what you just heard what Wilder said. He said, here I am, ready to not fight my mandatory, to fight you, and you failed a drug test. I was trying to take out Joshua's trash. But see, after the Carlos Taka fight, AJ said the same thing. They said, you want to fight Wilder? He said, listen, like, we're a champion. We got to fight mandatories and da-da-da-da. And then now you have another champion. He don't have as many belts as you, but he's still a champion, still a power puncher like you. And he said, here I am, not ready to fight my mandatory, trying to give Luis Ortiz, who had been ducked, an opportunity. All fact. All fact. Nobody was trying to see Luis Ortiz. I like that part. I'm going to play it back. He spoke so much sense with that. I'm going to play it one more time for y'all.
But here I am, not wanting to fight. My mandatory, which people forget the understanding and the meaning behind mandatory. No, I haven't done not one mandatory, ever. In fact, they have put themselves out of the fight with these substances. It's not my fault. But I give this man the opportunity of a lifetime. He could have still been on the shelf waiting for the WBA, waiting for Joshua. But I said, you know what? I'm going to take out Joshua trash. That's how I feel. I'm going to take his trash out for him.
I'm going to take his trash out for him. Let the church say amen. Put your hands together in the congregation. Ha! Don't ask how come or why come new media got to get the most super chats. Don't ask no questions. Don't ask. Oh my gosh, let the church say amen. We're going to pass around this collection plate. If you have $1, 50 cents, $20, consider donating for church funds. Ego's Army. Let the church say amen. That man said, here I am, ready not to fight my mandatory, to take out Joshua's trash. But you got AJ who keeps talking about, oh, the Wilder fight, I got to fight mandatories. Unfortunately, I got a belt, mandatories. We know you have mandatories, but we also know a unification trumps all of that. A unification trumps mandatories. So what are we really talking about? You know what I'm saying? What are we really talking about?
Why is everyone talking about money? We all know that. We all know there's money around the place. That's what I'm saying. It's not just about money. That's a lot of money to ask for, and he's got it. Would you not be happy with that kind of money?
But AJ, guys,
You should manage him. Everyone talk about money. I've signed my side. It happened, so I have to. I fought another champion. I didn't fight no one challenger. Remember me and.
Make him wait till 2020, 2019.
No, so what we're saying now is that unfortunately I have a belt, right? And it's the WBA. And I have to fight my mandatory challenger.
He just said it. He said, unfortunately, I have a belt, and it's the WBA, and I have to fight my mandatory challenger. But Wilder was willing to pay Bermane Stiverne, who didn't want to back up and back off, even though maybe he should have, because he got knocked out in the first round when they fought. But, I mean, him being a fighter, okay, he thought he could do better or whatever. He did not want to back up. Wilder was going to pay, right? So this is when they say all this bum, oh, Wilder kills bums and all this shit, they don't bring this up. Wilder was willing to pay a man, Bermane Stiverne, which is an easier fight because he at least shared the ring with him for 12 rounds. Pay that man to get out of the way, to fight the boogeyman that happens to be a southpaw with power, can get on his toes and move. You were willing to pay somebody else who you have already fought and beat to fight Joshua's mandatory. But then you have Joshua saying, oh, the thing is, we got a WBA, right? And we got responsibilities. We got a mandatory. We got to fight mandatories. You know what I'm saying? Just difference of attitudes. I'm waiting for them to argue these points. I'm really waiting for them. Wilder paid, he was willing to pay Stiverne. And the only reason the fight didn't happen is because Luis Ortiz had his little pills he was taking or whatever that weren't approved and weren't declared. So he failed a drug test, so the fight got canceled. And then he still fought him. He could have been like, oh, this motherfucker's on drugs, fuck that. And he still fought him. So this is why Wilder's profile is growing for behavior like this, because the fans see it. I know I'm not the only one. I just played it for you. Stiverne didn't want to step aside. He even hired Andre Ward's lawyer. Shout out to Josh Dubin. He hired his lawyer to represent him to make sure he was not, because, and see, in another drug cheat, Stiverne was about to fight Povetkin for an eliminator for the WBC. Povetkin failed a drug test, and I talked to Stiverne. I have an interview and everything. Stiverne flew back home. He said people was chasing him and shit. He said it was weird. Like, he said they were driving after him real fast. It's just something, I don't know. You got to listen to the interview. But anyway, Povetkin failed a drug test. Wilder still fought Luis Ortiz. He was and he fought his mandatory in Stiverne because it all worked out like that, where Stiverne was the mandatory, was going to get paid money to fight Luis Ortiz or to allow for the Luis Ortiz and get next. But then Luis Ortiz took him out of contention by failing the drug test. So then Wilder knocked out Stiverne. Then he knocked out Luis Ortiz in a tough fight. And see, the WBA, they got some questionable behavior lately, especially regarding Joshua. Why was Luis Ortiz taken out of the rankings? Because, listen, you guys realize this. Luis Ortiz could have still been #1 rated. But then after he failed the drug test, which was later cleared by the sanctioning body that found the drug test, and they let him fight for their belts and get an opportunity at it. And they're the ones whose program, the clean boxing program with the WBC, found the test. They're the ones that conducted the test or paid for it or whatever to find that Luis Ortiz was on whatever pills, right? They let him fight. They heard his story, like, okay, cool, we had a meeting with him. It was an honest mistake, boom, boom, boom. Let him fight for the title. But the WBA took him out of contention. They took him off of the rankings. I made a video about it. They dropped him completely. So why did they drop him and they didn't even find, their testing didn't even find Luis Ortiz guilty, but then the sanctioning body. So actually that would be good. Let's say they didn't drop him from rankings, then even though he lost to what's the name? Joshua, I mean, even though he lost to Wilder, he might still be up in the rankings where Joshua could have fought Luis Ortiz. That would have been a good fight for Wembley. But conveniently, he was removed from the rankings for some odd reason. Because he failed a drug test, even though the people that found the failed drug test let him fight for their belt. And they were the ones that conducted the test. And then the WBA jumps in the middle. Oh, we'll have the paperwork back by Friday. No, you won't. And jumps in. WBA sounded shaky, baby. So, just a difference in mentality. You know what I mean? Wilder said, I was willing to step aside to fight a harder opponent, basically. And Joshua was like, oh, I got mandatories, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Eddie Hearn, he should probably stop because it's hurting Joshua's like resume. And then last thing I'm gonna say, I know I said this a while ago, I was gonna get out of here, but the shit that Joshua said, another thing that he said that was really terrible to me at the New York presser was he said something to the effect of, they offered me 50 mil, but my bank account never changed. I never seen it. It's mad. It's mad. I never seen the money. I never seen the money. Since when is motherfuckers putting money in your bank account before you fight them? Like honestly. All right, Christian. Shout out to you. I'll see you soon. Listen. D-Lo 404 $2 super chat. AJ didn't say that when Ortiz was his mandatory. Exactly. I mean, people fans see this, but the new point that I'm on is this: at the New York DAZN presser, he said my bank account never changed. I never seen the 50 mil. But why would someone put 50 million in your account before you signed the contract and definitely before you took the fight? I can understand maybe a deposit or some shit just to ensure you get your money, but in what world would that happen? Ronald Fickley out of pocket. $2 super chat. DAZN is trash. Wow. I just don't understand why you would get paid 50 mil. He said the money wasn't in my account. Why would why would 50 million be in your account? Shout out to Hawaii. I want to come out there. I've never been out there, but that's definitely somewhere I want to go. Somebody explain these points. Why would they put 50, the whole lump sum of your guarantee in your bank account when you haven't even agreed to fight or before the fight? Like, you never seen the money, but then Joshua's promoter says we never asked. So they're, like I said, it's like amateur hour at the Apollo. This can't be the real Apollo acts. Like, this is not the Genuines and the Aliyahs and the people who are already like signed to record deals that have been on. This has to be the amateurs show. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff that's being said is not even making sense. So Eddie Hearn is on record multiple times saying we never asked for proof of funds. But then AJ did an interview at the DAZN thing talking about, oh, my bank account never changed. I never seen the 50 mil. One, why would you see it before the fight unless it was like the week of the fight or something? And so they're going to give you 50 mil, you feel me? And then you get injured in training camp. And then you go over to Mexico and then go off the grid. And you got their $50 million after you cashed it or some shit. Who does that? Why would they give you 50 mil and you haven't even agreed to the fight so you can take their money and skip town? Or you could get injured in training camp and you got this check with $50 million or the money's in your bank account or whatever he was talking about. Shout out to Huddy. I'm glad you got there safe. He said, I got to go drive to the airport. Thanks for helping me stay up. Shout out to Will. He said, love your channel, man. When I work out, super chat, I'll donate. Much love. Appreciate you. Steven Espinoza of Showtime confirmed the money was real. Exactly. But just what is being said sounds like atrocious. You're really expecting $50 million to be deposited in your account before the fight? I don't even think they did that to Floyd. Floyd had a check, and he probably had to cash it. You probably have to go through different bank keys and stuff. That's a lot of money we're talking about. You know what I mean? Floyd had like $100 million check. So I'm sure it's kind of a process. Or, you know, when they Publisher Clearinghouse, they had them big ass checks and shit like that. I'm sure it's a process. He's talking about the money not in his account, but you thought it was going to be a direct deposit? They were just going to wire the money, they fucking send it through Venmo, $50 million. They was going to hit you on PayPal. Like, what are you talking about? The money's not in my account. And then again, beyond that, beyond not being Venmo'd or Patreon, the fucking $50 million, the last thing, I guess, is you never agreed to it. So it never got drafted into a contract. They wanted you to do is agree to the monetary. So why would this is what I'm saying, these talking points don't make sense. Why would they have submitted the money to you if you never agreed to it? He want that $50 million super chat. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. You never accepted, so they're not gonna send you shit. And then your boss, Eddie Hearn, is on record saying, I think we never asked for proof of funds. So you never asked for proof of funds because you didn't want the funds because you were doing your own shit with DAZN and Wembley. But the money's not in my account. Of course it's not, because you didn't accept. This is like elementary school stuff. Shout out to Huddy, $2 super chat. Eddie a sucker. AJ don't want no smoke. Peace. Like I said, this is elementary school level of thinking. And I understand building fights. Some people are gonna, oh, Eddie's just doing this to play the villain. Hey, if you want to be this type of villain and potentially hurt the stock of your fighter, put him in a dangerous fight where the guy could play spoiler, then enjoy the villain role. To me, it's not playing it smart. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about the 50 mil, not in my account. Of course it's not in your account. You didn't accept. Why would it be in your account if you didn't accept the money? Like, somebody please, like, I'm begging you guys to make this make sense. How y'all gonna take Keith Thurman quotes and then say AJ? He says my get back year. Y'all stupid. That's funny though. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, how does that make 50? It's mod 50 million not on my account. Like, you didn't accept. Why would it be? That's like Wilder. I'm so frustrated right now. Hey Wilder, what's wrong with you, dog? I'm so frustrated right now. Eddie Hearn's offered me $15 million. I went to Wells Fargo. I checked my account, and the shit wasn't even there. Now somebody got to pay. Somebody got to get knocked out because they taking food out of my daughter's mouths. That 15 million wasn't there. Like, what? Why would the 15 million there? They didn't agree to the bullshit, or they did agree, and then you fucking had the WBA call and cock block the whole shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, who does it? Like, honestly, that's like me texting my barber right now. I'm so frustrated right now. She's gonna be like, what's wrong with you? You didn't cut my hair on Thursday. I love getting a haircut on Thursdays. Like, she's like, oh, you never hit me up. You never made an appointment. I know I never made no appointment, but I wanted that nice, smooth, cool cut. I wanted to get that haircut. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. You're mad at your barber because you wanted a cool cut on a Thursday, but you didn't go to the shop as a walk-in. You didn't make an appointment to get your hair cut, and you didn't show up, and you're like, I wanted that cool cut. I wanted you to taper the sides and give me that nice low cut, that Caesar. How come you didn't give me that Caesar? I wanted that cool. Like, what, bro, stop it. What are you talking about? Why are you saying you did? You're mad you didn't get a haircut, but you didn't make an appointment for no haircut. You didn't go to the barbershop. Like, were you in the shop? No. I was sitting at home watching Family Feud. but I'm mad you didn't cut my shit. Like, come on, man. He said, I don't got the 50 million in your account. You ain't never gonna get the 50 million in your account if you don't accept. What? Like, is this real? Is this real life? You're just supposed to get the money in your account. Closed mouths don't get fed. If I go to Chick-fil-A and I want fucking Chick-fil-A sauce and ranch with my nuggets, I get home, I'm so frustrated. Chick-fil-A's, they robbed me. Like, what happened? They didn't give me no ranch, no buffalo sauce. They didn't give me no Chick-fil-A sauce. Did you ask for it? Nah, but they should have knew to put the sauces in my bag. Now somebody I want to go to Chick-fil-A and catch me a body. I want to catch me a body so bad. Like, bro, you didn't ask for the sauce. Don't go out knocking motherfuckers out because you didn't ask for the sauce. What are you talking about? 50 mil not on my account. It's never going to be in your account if you don't accept. Usyk Gassiev, I don't know. I'm just watching that one as a fan, to be honest. I don't know. Usyk, he's nice, but I see, like, even in the Michael Hunter fight, he didn't look as polished as even like Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? He looked good in the fight and got the job. I think he got a late stoppage like in the last round or some shit. But that's anybody's fight. Gassiev's young and he got a lot of power. Good trainer, able. But yeah, man. Listen, and the other thing is AJ, they're trying to build the Gerald Miller. I'll be over the moon with that deal. They trying to pump Gerald Miller. They trying to get their backups lined up. If Joshua gets past Povetkin, they talking about if Dillian White beats Joseph Parker, a rematch. If Gerald Miller, he's talking about Joshua's mum or some shit. So they trying to build up that. Listen, that's cool. Those aren't like horrible fights, but that's not the fight. Joshua's profile is gonna stay from here on out. Joshua's profile is, instead of what Eddie Hearn's saying, is skyrocketing. Is gonna go down until he fights Wilder. Same thing. And see, this is the thing. Ain't no one man above the crew. You know that shit. It's just like oh boy, what's his name? Canelo. The whole time he didn't want to fight Golovkin, or that's what it was appearing, that someone on his side, another A side, didn't want to fight Golovkin. People didn't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Some people still watch Canelo Khan and Canelo Liam Smith, but they was angry. They like, we gonna watch this, but we ain't happy. You know? And that's what's gonna be for Joshua. You could think, Eddie Hearn could think that's gonna build his stock and all this, beating Povetkin. It's not. What has Povetkin done in the last couple of years? Beat David Price? Really? If Wilder's, okay, Povetkin just somehow got back in the rankings after being on drugs or whatever 2 times in a year. Fine, whatever, you put him back in the rankings, right? If he just fought on the Joshua undercard in March and got rocked by David Price, and he went back like this. He did the fucking weekend at Bernie's and shit. He was David Price hit him with. David Price is a big puncher. He hit him, and Povetkin said. Povetkin was right here with it. Even though he came back and stopped David Price, he did get rocked in that fight, and somehow that got him the you know what I'm saying, that performance got him the #1 spot. Whatever. Can y'all imagine if Wilder fought David Price in March? What would people say if he didn't fight Luis Ortiz, because they both had heavyweight fights in March? Let's say March 3rd, Wilder fought David Price. At this point, you know, the one that lost to Tony Thompson twice, the one that got knocked out by Erkan Tepper, even though he failed his drug test after. See, I know my boxing. Y'all know my boxing. So you're like, who the fuck is Erkan Tepper? Oh, it's cool. I know. You don't have to know him. I know him. Right? Christian Hammer. Right? That David Price. if Wilder fought him, what the fuck do you think people would say? If he just fought him in March, that's Povetkin's last fight, and he was doing the Weekend at Bernie's. He was. What do you think people would say if that was they would be like, he don't deserve 1%. They would, come on, and that's the performance that garnered Povetkin this coveted #1 mandatory spot, right? Beating David Price. And that's his last fight. You know what I'm saying? Klitschko coming off a loss. This whole shit with Joshua is kind of fabricated. Joseph Parker hadn't had really great wins. Klitschko, he was coming off a bad loss where he lost all his shit to Tyson Fury. Fucking Povetkin looks mad shorter than Joshua, and he has to give up home court. You know what I mean? They didn't do it in Russia, so he has to fight in Joshua's turf. And then he's coming off a David Price win, but it was Price. It's not like he beat the fuck out of Gerald Miller or Luis Ortiz, or Povetkin beat Dillian White, even, he got a lot of steam right now. He didn't beat Joseph Parker, a guy like that. He beat David Price. There's always a dumb motherfucker that come in my chats trying to inform me on some shit. Size doesn't matter. Is that what you tell your girl? Size don't matter? Always saying some cliche shit. Size doesn't matter, you know. It's the motion in the ocean. Thanks for informing me. I just got to this 100,000 mark on my channel by not knowing shit about boxing. So thank you for enlightening me that size doesn't matter. Size can fucking matter. It doesn't always tell the tale, but it can. Dude's trying to come in. Size doesn't matter. Okay. Put Triple G in there with Gilberto Ramirez then. And Andre Ward. Size don't matter, right? That's a good fight. Put him in there with Charlo. That's a good fight. Size don't matter, right? He gonna run DAZN into the ground. Hey, y'all tripping. The Vampire Stream. He said we gonna run DAZN into the ground. Hey, y'all wildin', man. Y'all wildin'. This is funny. Yeah, so at the end of the day, people know what it is. You guys can listen to whatever channels and people, writers you want, but the real fans know what it is. It's very apparent because all you have to do is look at whose story sounds the most consistent. Like, listen, how come all these fucking videos I've done about this topic, all of these videos, right? Why isn't there no compilation video of my audio where I just said crazy shit? Fuck you, ego, you a bitch, bro. I've been following you since you weren't shit. I'm just a fan that's commenting what the fuck I want. Why you coming at your fans like that? Oh, you mad. Oh, you big mad. You not even little mad. You big mad. Hey, shout out to Chris Navarro for getting butthurt because he said some stupid shit. Oh, you mad. Oh, you big mad. Damn, Chris. You got your feelings hurt? You big mad. Yeah, fuck you, ego. You're a bit. Okay. So, these dudes be telling on themselves. All these dudes. Eddie Hearn, this dude. He said, I've been following you since you weren't shit. So that means you've been following me for a while because I've been this shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been this shit. So you've been following me for a while, but then you call me a bitch. So you follow male bitches from the inception? Like, these dudes is stupid as fuck. Oh, you're a big bitch. I've been following you ever since you had 100 subscribers. Why'd you follow the big bitch for so long? Size doesn't matter, huh, sweetie? Let me eat you out, cause size doesn't matter. It's cool, bro. Size don't matter. You're right. My mistake. Nigga really got mad over some internet joke. Bro, you writing paragraphs, so clearly you're not chilling. He said, bro, I'm chilling. I'm just saying, how did I say some stupid shit? Bro, size doesn't matter. I'm saying you're a bitch. You can't even spell your. Is this what you want to do? When you can't even spell the word your? I'm just saying you're a bitch. Someone play Drake for this man. He in his feelings. Because of the way you came at a fan. So I'm a bitch though. Okay. Make sure you tell me that when you see me. I'll be all the bitches on the internet. You know what I'm saying? We'll just leave it at that. Where you live? So I know when there's a fight. Where you live? Chris Navarro. Where you live? I just want to know. Someone say listening to Marvin's Room. Chris Navarro, where do you live? Hello? Where you live, Chris? Don't lie either. I'll look up your IP address. I want to know where you live. What city? So I know if there's a fight that I'm covering, I can expect you. He lives in Dixon, California. That's right. That's down the street from me. How'd you find that out? I go to that super Walmart there at that Dixon. Yeah. How you know he lives in Dixon? Hey, hold on, stop. We gotta stop. I'm just gonna block him because Adam he said come to Harlem. Yeah, hey, we gotta stop. We gotta chill. The feds might be watching our shit. Hey, shooter, just block him because it's for his own benefit. Because the army's starting to ride on him. Just block him, please. Somebody block Chris Navarro. He was talking greasy. Let's just block him because this get Dallas big dog. Everything is all good. Just don't disrespect the people that watch you. Nah, it ain't all good. How you gonna call someone a bitch and then say it's all good? I mean, get these dudes out of here. You're a bitch, and you call me a bitch twice and then talking about it's all good. Nah, it ain't all good. It's all good with you. You talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't do this internet shit, man. Like at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't give a fuck what you feel about my boxing opinion. I'm a man at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like what the boxing shit's cool. We Joshua, wow, that's cool. But you talking some old different realm shit. You a big bit, okay. You know what I'm saying? You talking about it's all good. I say I'm not one of these little kids. Little kids be on the internet. Oh, big bitch, okay. I'll be all the bitches on the internet. I've been a bitch since I started. I'll drive this car off the fucking cliff. Be two bitches in the sea. You like that? he was really mad, trying to wallow me. Anyway, man, yeah, it's just not looking good with like the reasoning that I'm hearing from Team Joshua. It just to me, it don't sound great. It don't sound like bankable. It don't sound like bankable like logic. Oh, you take one part of my interview, but it's still something you said. It's not like somebody took what you said out of context. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've seen situations like there. I don't know if you guys remember. See, I remember boxing. There was a situation where Demetrius Andrade allegedly said something about Errol Spence, and it created like I forgot what it was. It was like Andrade said something, and then somebody made it sound like he accused Errol Spence of being on steroids or some shit. And it was like a miscommunication, and the way it was spun, Errol Spence responded like, "What? I don't know why he's talking about me." And then Andre had to come and clear it out, like, "We're not even in the same division. I didn't say that about him. Somebody twisted what I said." So that's not the same situation with Joshua. Joshua's mad. I'm blue collar. This internet keyboard gangster shit is whack. Come to our job site with that bullshit. Throwback thinking. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't, you'll get ate alive in the real world just talking crazy to whoever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, like, me personally, like, oh, I'm the toughest guy ever. I don't try to be nothing I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But I just know you can't walk through life calling people all types of bitches and shit like that. Some of y'all ain't not even built or built like that. You know what I'm saying? You 5'4", calling people all these names and shit on the internet. That's, come on, man. My friend's kids is y'all size. Like, don't do that. My friend's daughter is really probably y'all height. Shout out to Bree. Anyway, smash the like button. But yeah, just the responses that I'm hearing from what's the name? AJ and Eddie Hearn. Like, nobody knows Wilder. Like, why are you negotiating with him? Why is he a champion? Why is he next to fucking Dr. Dre and LL Cool J? Hip hop icons and legends. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. Like, it's like the same tired excuses. Oh, nobody knows this guy. He's a runner. He's boring. It's like people and trainers and promoters, they just keep recycling the same shit. Nobody knows this guy. He doesn't sell. He's boring. But all that stuff is easily to combat, because at the end of the day, break it down. Why did Eddie Hearn want to sign Deontay Wilder for a 2-fight deal and pay him $5 million? You want to pay a guy $5 million and you don't know him. No one in the UK knows him, but you want to give him $5 million to fight anybody. That was what you said on record, right? Are you giving Jesse Vargas $5 million? Are you giving Daniel Roman $5 million for the next fight? What about Maurice Hooker? Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with the army. Stop playing with the army, please. Is Daniel Roman or Maurice Hooker getting $5 million for their next fight of their choice? So they could fight anyone, big or small name, and you're going to pay them $5 million. DAZN got money like that? And you know the answer to that. You know they ain't getting no $5 million, and if they did, it's going to have to be a big fight. It's going to have to be a really big fight. So to stop all this, half of the people, like, let me stop, because now it's gonna sound like I'm not trying to go at or diss the fighters. All the people that are signed to DAZN, they're looking to improve their situation. That's cool, but I'm just saying the logic of what's being said. Half of the people on DAZN aren't well known in the UK, and you trying to say, oh, nobody knows Wilder, but you have this whole streaming app. Right? And a lot of the people you sign aren't like household names. Or fuck like talking about the UK, the USA. You're gonna try to sell the DAZN app and you want Americans to buy it, and these aren't even American household names. A lot of them. Like Daniel Roman, he was on the Errol Spence card with Ocampo. I was there, so I seen it. Right? And guess what? Some people didn't even watch the fight. They didn't even know who he was. I told y'all, man. It was... And see, everything I say, I can back up. Look. DAZN. Look at their Instagram. That's the... You see the verified mark? Verified Instagram. 2,600 followers. Your boy Ego. Look at my Instagram. I have 77,000 followers. Motherfucker, I am boxing. I got more followers than DAZN. And I don't care when they started their profile, because it don't matter when they start their profile, because they've been around. They've been around. I got more subs than them. And they've been around. See see people getting it. People, look, we're gonna find out. Even though they're just getting into some new fighters and Bellator and stuff, they've still been around. Look. So it's not even like it's a new account. There's a post from September 2017. I got more subs than you, or whatever, followers on every platform. Twitter, Facebook. So once again, this is a new venture, and you're trying to clown our American fighter. I don't feel you're being transparent with the American public. And then now you're trying to sell us something. Hey, J-Dog's a fool. He said, damn, Ego, you should have started a streaming service. Shit, I might. E-Zone. Ego Zone. So, like, I'm telling you, it's better to have Ego's army as your ally. You don't want us on that ass. I got Ego Promotions, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we talking about? That's a DAZN verified Instagram account, and they have posts from last year, but they not popping in America. I'm more popping in America. Motherfucker, I am boxing. Okay. How I got 77,000? I got 77,000 with no sponsor, no $1 billion. I didn't jump off nobody's back. I ain't had nobody help me. Like, not nobody in terms of, I didn't have no major handout helping me. My father didn't have a successful business, and he just let me in on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the mud. I'm out. That's all I gotta say. Holla at the kids, smash the like button. We working. Gang. The army.